Module 2, Artificial Intelligence Concepts, Terminology and Applications area. When you will click this link, this is going to open. Yeah. So please read these details, fine prints in your own time. I'm going to play the clip and then we will have a little bit of a discussion.
AI is at the forefront of a new era of computing, cognitive computing. It's a radically new kind of computing, very different from the programmable systems that preceded it, as different as those systems were from the tabulating machines of a century ago. Conventional computing solutions, based on the mathematical principles that emanate from the 1940s, are programmed based on rules and logic intended to derive mathematically precise answers, often following a rigid decision tree approach. But with today's wealth of big data and the need for more complex evidence-based decisions, such a rigid approach often breaks or fails to keep up with available information. Cognitive computing enables people to create a profoundly new kind of value, finding answers and insights locked away in volumes of data. Whether we consider a doctor diagnosing a patient, a wealth manager advising a client on their retirement portfolio, or even a chef creating a new recipe, they need new approaches to put into context the volume of information they deal with on a daily basis in order to derive value from it. These processes serve to enhance human expertise. Cognitive computing mirrors some of the key cognitive elements of human expertise, systems that reason about like a human does. When we as humans seek to understand something and to make a decision, we go through 4 key steps. First, we observe visible phenomena and bodies of evidence. Second, we draw on what we know to interpret what we are seeing to generate hypotheses about what it means. Third, we evaluate which hypotheses are right or wrong. Finally, we decide, choosing the option that seems best and acting accordingly. Just humans become experts by going through the process of observation, evaluation, and decision-making. Cognitive systems use similar processes to reason about the information they read, and they can do this at massive speed and scale. Unlike conventional computing solutions, which can only handle neatly organized structured data, such as what is stored in a database, cognitive computing solutions can understand unstructured data, which is 80% of data today. All of the information that is produced primarily by humans for other humans to consume. This includes everything from literature, articles, research reports, to blogs, posts, and tweets. While structured data is governed by well-defined fields that contain well-specified information, cognitive systems rely on natural language, which is governed by rules of grammar, context, and culture. It is implicit, ambiguous, complex, and a challenge to process. While all human language is difficult to parse, certain idioms can be particularly challenging. In English, for instance, we can feel blue because it's raining cats and dogs, while we're filling in a form someone asked us to fill out. Cognitive systems read and interpret text like a person. They do this by breaking down a sentence grammatically, relationally, and structurally, discerning meaning from the semantics of the written material. Cognitive systems understand context. This is very different from simple speech recognition, which is how a computer translates human speech into a set of words. Cognitive systems try to understand the real intent of the user's language and use that understanding to draw inference through a broad array of linguistic models and algorithms. Cognitive systems learn, adapt, and keep getting smarter. They do this by learning from their interactions with us and from their own successes and failures, just like humans do.
Yeah, please reflect on these pointers which are made in the clip. Some of them are very interesting. For example, they are saying cognitive. They are talking about overall cognitive systems, cognitive understanding. So understanding the culture. Yeah. So they are talking about structured and unstructured data. So think about unstructured data based on your understanding, and then think about understanding the cultural context. She gave example of understanding the language, but think about cultural understanding. Even if we are we are familiar with the culture, still we are not familiar with it because there are many subsets in any culture. For example, let me talk about Jamaica. So And that applies to any country. So in any country, there would be a rich class, there will be a middle class, there will be a people who are underprivileged, and so on. All of them would have their own certain behavior, certain way of engagement, certain way of talking, certain words they would be using. Someone who is maybe educated, or education is not just the degree, educated in overall sense of life, their outlook would be different, so they will choose different type of words and stuff like that. On the other hand, a person who is not very well, I would say, exposed to the world, their understanding might be different. So when we are, as human beings, we are interacting, we take care of those things, if we are smart enough, which all of us are. But and we take it for granted, we just process information just like that. But for machines, for AI, for machine learning, these type of things, this can be very challenging, this can be very, very tricky. So yesterday you guys were talking about, rules, logic, algorithm. You maybe did not use the words directly, but that is where you were talking about that we need to be careful when we are writing the algorithms and stuff like that. So writing algorithms for some computation, something which you want to do, AI, is is not that hard once you understand the language. But to understand the cultural context, to understand, even we were talking about, for example, some of the ethical issues. So how to include ethical issues in the coding, that is very, very tricky. And the reason is obvious. Ethical issues, different people deal with it differently, and when you are coding, you have to write it down. So when you are giving something in written, that is the command you are giving to the system, which is going to apply. So people are going to question that command, that are you going to do that in all circumstances? There is no exception. So once you start in exceptions to rules, then it becomes tricky and tricky and tricky and tricky. But when we are talking about applications, I will show you some examples which will demonstrate that scientists have overcome that trickiness to a very good extent, which is mind blowing, which is really mind blowing. So think about those things. The uh, the parts like understanding cultural context, understanding the idiom. She gave example of feeling blue. This might be very easy for us to understand, but think about it, for a system, it can get just like anyone who is learning English for the first time. They for them it is this type of idioms. These type of idioms can be very, very difficult. I'm sure you can relate in your own language. Your own language, there are words, and these are which mean so many different things. The way you say it is the same word, but the way you are going to say it's going to make whole lot of. It is linked with NLP, language processing. Remember that clip which we saw yesterday, what is AI? Very simple clip, but in that clip there was a diagram very nicely placed, and I asked you guys to make note of that diagram and maybe include things to that over a period of time. So if you are doing it, that would be really nice. Structured data and unstructured data. I think you need to spend some time with that. And they were saying 80% of the information is unstructured data. That is how we are looking at the data around us, and then we are putting it into some context, into some structure or some format, or dividing it into different columns and stuff like that. But once you start looking at the more exciting things in AI, for example, deep learning, then you will have to understand how to work with unstructured data. So but definitely, yesterday, just like yesterday, I said it. I have no shame in repeating it, and I will also repeat it couple of times again before we close our week, that please spend some time in data analysis. You can't go wrong in that. Develop your understanding and more on that. Let's watch one more clip, and then maybe I will take your one or two more clips, and then maybe I will take you.
Deep dive into how AI works and its various use cases and applications, let's differentiate some of the closely related terms and concepts of AI. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and neural networks. These terms are sometimes used interchangeably, but they do not refer to the same thing. Artificial intelligence is a branch of computer science dealing with the simulation of intelligent behavior. AI systems will typically demonstrate behaviors associated with human intelligence, such as planning, learning, reasoning, problem solving, knowledge representation, perception, motion, and manipulation, and to a lesser extent, social intelligence and creativity. Machine learning is a subset of AI that uses computer algorithms to analyze data and make intelligent decisions based on what it has learned, without being explicitly programmed. Machine learning algorithms are trained with large sets of data and they learn from examples. They do not follow rules-based algorithms. Machine learning is what enables machines to solve problems on their own and make accurate predictions using the provided data. Deep learning is a specialized subset of machine learning that uses layered neural networks to simulate human decision-making. Deep learning algorithms can label and categorize information and identify patterns. It is what enables AI systems to continuously learn on the job and improve the quality and accuracy of results by determining whether decisions were correct. Artificial neural networks, often referred simply as neural networks, take inspiration from biological neural networks, although they work quite a bit differently. A neural network in AI is a collection of small computing units called neurons that take incoming data and learn to make decisions over time. Neural networks are often layered deep and are the reason deep learning algorithms become more efficient as the datasets increase in volume, as opposed to other machine learning algorithms that may plateau as data increases. Now that you have a broad understanding of the differences between some key AI concepts, there is one more differentiation that is important to understand, that between artificial intelligence and data science. Data science is the process and method for extracting knowledge and insights from large volumes of disparate data. It's an interdisciplinary field involving mathematics, statistical analysis, data visualization, machine learning, and more. It's what makes it possible for us to appropriate information, see patterns, find meaning from large volumes of data, and use it to make decisions that drive business. Data science can use many of the AI techniques to derive insight from data. For example, it could use machine learning algorithms and even deep learning models to extract meaning and draw inferences from data. There is some intersection between AI and data science, but one is not a subset of the other. Rather, data science is a broad term that encompasses the entire data processing methodology, while AI includes everything that allows computers to learn how to solve problems and make intelligent decisions. And both AI and data science can involve the use of big data, that is, significantly large volumes of data. In the next few lessons, the terms machine learning, deep learning, and neural networks will be discussed in more detail.
Yes, please think about these things, and let me link it like in yesterday's the emails I received from you, like what are you thinking, what are your thoughts, where is your headspace after yesterday's session. Some of the emails I got where some of our friends were explaining artificial intelligence using the definitions of machine learning. Yeah, and they were maybe thinking in their head that is what is the they were maybe defining AI how they should define machine learning, but nothing to really worry about it if you ask me, because the definitions are keep on evolving on this. The idea is not about memorizing the definitions, the way I am looking at it. The idea is to go deep into it, that how to make useful preparation for the times in which overall AI, machine learning, and all of these things, um, maximize from the utility of those things. I think that is the idea which I want to really focus on, at least in my engagement with you guys. And please reflect on how they position data sciences in it. And what I'm trying to say is that even a basic, simple, introductory statistics course, mathematics course, in which you are focusing on pattern recognition, can be very useful overall, no matter how advanced AI becomes or it does not become, irrespective of that. That is, I think, very important. So please spend some time in some type of statistic course where you can understand the pattern recognition in various forms, in images, in they are very nice courses, and they are free of cost online on YouTube. If you will search, you are going to find those, and they are not hard at all, but they are very useful in developing basic understanding, which would help you to work in the fields like deep learning, for example, because that is the key thing. If you really want to, if you really want machines to learn on their own, I think it will go from the root of deep learning, but no one knows, maybe some other exciting thing thing comes. So in that, labeling, categorizing, pattern recognition, uh, all of these things are linked with the data sciences. And in that, now try to think about, make linkages with yesterday's discussion, because yesterday's discussion was quite interesting, and there were a few things which made me reflect later on in the evening, Jamaica time, when you guys were sleeping. I was reflecting on the things which you guys sent. So uh, it's quite it's quite it's quite interesting. So on the website there will be some other clips which are going to take you through some basic definitions. What is, for example, as you are seeing on the screen now, what is machine learning? What are some of the techniques uh, which are maybe used? They are introductory basic clips. I would say that you watch those things in your own time. This one I really like, this one, artificial intelligence and machine learning. Uh, this lecture is conducted by MIT, and this is like more than 1 hour. Yeah, but it is worth watching. So please watch it and link it with the things which we spoke about yesterday. These clips which you watched, this guy is explaining it really well and taking it to the next step, which is going to help us develop very strong. Even it is beyond developing the basics. He's giving very good insight, and it can also give you some ideas of research work if you want to do that. Machine learning, living in the age of AI. I found this documentary very interesting. I learned a lot, but again, this one is a little long, so we cannot watch this in our session. That would be waste of our time. So in your own time, in your own pace, watch both of these, if you are interested in uh, developing your understanding in the sense that where machine learning is now, and what are how it is application, more of application in our daily lives. A lot of examples are given, especially in this second clip. Machine learning, very nice documentary, but it is a little long, I think 1 hour. This document I have posted for you guys. It is a must read. These are basic things, as you guys understand that we are doing introductory basic course, so I need to take care of some friends who maybe uh, are not as aware as others. Yeah. So, and even if you are aware, I promise you that you are going to find some new information in this. For example, look at this one. Gartner predicts that the global AI economy is set to increase about 3.9 trillion by 2020. That is a prediction. Yeah. So if you're not looking at numbers, some numbers are going to be here which are very interesting. But pay attention to these things. What is the difference between AI and machine learning? If you really want to, and for me it is fine because machine learning is a subset of AI, and if someone is using the definition of machine learning as they are trying to talk about AI, I am personally speaking, I am okay. But theoretically speaking, someone can say, oh, this is not the correct definition. But these things are the definitions are definitely going to change, and they will keep on changing. New terminologies would be coined. History of machine learning, good to have a little bit sense. So please go through these things in your own time. I spoke briefly about supervised and unsupervised stuff, so you want to think about that. Yesterday one of the friends gave example of AlphaGo, if you guys remember. Yeah, this is the example for that. It is linked with machine learning and more things. So please look into this, and I would really encourage you to, if you are not familiar, um, look into how AlphaGo, the scientist who made that thing, and the people who are talking about the wonderful achievement by AlphaGo. Listen to those people. I think because they would be saying about realistic timelines, like in which year what do they think will happen, in this year what do they think they will happen. Because it is very important. People who will be successful, I think, are the ones who can predict now to a decent correctness, not 100%, maybe 60-70% correctness, that next 7 to 8 years, 9 years, 6 years, what would be in demand. If you can predict that and start preparing for that now, you have 5 to 4 years, something like that, you will be in a better shape then. But then, as I have told you yesterday, some things I think you might not go wrong, but I don't know. I don't know, but I think you can't go wrong. Data sciences, data understanding, data pattern recognition, I don't think you can go wrong with that. Even if you don't go, so even if you don't go in AI, you go in any field, any field you go in, that thing is going to help you. Data science is going to help you. Understanding data, qualitative or quantitative, is going to help you. So that skill is going to, it's very transferable. So that is why I am thinking, that is the rationale that I am saying, whatever happens in AI, that skill would be definitely worth looking at. And then if you are not mathematically inclined for some reason, or you don't want to work in that, then it is, if it is softer thing like psychology and those type of things, then ethical dilemmas and those type of things, the challenges, all the things which we discussed yesterday, from racism to cloning and making a robot, giving your robot the shape and the figure and the face of your beloved or someone you dream about, all of those things that you can work on. A lot of examples are there. I can go through them, but I don't think that I would want to do that. I want you to read these things and reflect on that, and maybe in the coming sessions you can make interferences and talk about it. Couple of things I can quickly talk about. Improving customer service, for example. This is quite an interesting field, because no matter which business it is in the world, they have some customers, and they need to satisfy their customers. uh, and it is vice versa. Because think about it, who is the customer in this session right now? Are you the customer, or I am the customer? You might think that you are the customer because you have paid some fees and stuff like that to the university, and I should be the one giving you what is required or what is promised. So in that sense you are the customers. But in the age of AI, it is not that you are the customers. I am also your customers, because You need to satisfy me by making comments, by helping me in the discussions, by giving nice reflections, by raising interesting questions. I'm not asking you to answer the question. It is not about answering the questions at all. It is about raising the questions. And when we raise the questions, answers will come in their own time. Answers don't come right away. Just like in life, you ask for something, it does not come right away. Generally speaking, sometimes it does, but generally speaking, things take time. Same is for the answers. All the questions you raise, the thing is, when you raise the question, your mind starts thinking about that. And because mind is thinking on conscious level and subconscious level, so when you raise a question or someone else raise a question, and if it sticks in your memory, then you are unconsciously, subconsciously, you are thinking about that in your dreams and whatever. Your mind is so if you are into like neuroscience and those type of things, that branch of the medicine, you will understand what as a matter of fact, yesterday one of our friends did mention that AI might be able to read the dreams and stuff like that. But let me come back to customer experience. So if you are the customer, do you really know what do you want in anything? Like when you buy a shirt, how do you buy the shirt? Yes, maybe you like the color, and maybe you whatever, maybe you like the price, and but if I really ask you, like, what do you really want in a shirt or in a food or anything, maybe you will be able to tell it now, right now, but because of the emotions and moods which human beings go through, what you are expecting now from some anything in life, that might not stay same, let's say, after a week, or maybe it will stay same after a week, but think about it after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Yeah, it might not stay same. Think about this. You fall in love with someone, you fall in love and you are just crazy about them, and you can't think about anything today, and you are just consumed in the thoughts, everything. But what about after 1 year, or 2 years, or 3, or 5, or 4, or 6, or 10 years? I hope that you are still in love, but generally speaking, if you look at the statistics in the world, the breakup number is quite high than otherwise. And so what happens? Same person, you are in the person so much, but that thing changed. So you are consuming that whatever was going on, your consumption, that was your consumption. If you are coming from economics background, that is what you are consuming. Although we should not say that we are consuming human beings, but in economic term, you can say that is your consumption is all of that thing, the feel, all of those things. So consuming that, the looks, you are looking at the person and it was making you, the touch, you are touching the person, or whatever you are doing, that you are consuming that. But so that consumption changed. So your what you wanted maybe 5 years ago, you don't want that thing anymore. And this is for anything. Generally speaking, human beings don't keep on liking the same things for the duration of their life. That is not how it is. Things change. We might think that we have not changed, we are the same person we were a week before, because we don't have the lens to measure. But if you are looking into psychology and those type of things, you are changing every moment. Every moment, you're just like your body is changing every moment. They say that after 7 years, all the cells of the body have changed. Just like that, you are changing as a person. So if a consumer, this is what I want to say, if a consumer is changing, then the consumer is a moving target. His expectations are changing. So how to understand what your consumer really wants, what they really want deep down? It is extremely, what a beautiful line, beautiful line. Humans are living algorithms. Beautiful line. I'm loving that. Beautiful line. Yeah. So think about that. although we don't want to say that, we want to say that we are, because we human beings like consistency, so we want to say that, we have not. If someone says you have changed, we look it in the negative sense. We meet someone after 5 years and we say, oh, you have changed. So the person might think it is a bad thing to change. But think about the beautiful commentary made yesterday about evolution. One of our friends made beautiful commentary. We did not discuss that in detail because we did not want to go too far away from what we really want to do. But he was saying that evolution and this artificial intelligence is essentially evolution of human beings, and all the commentary we made very interesting points. If you can really think about that, so please reflect on that. That how hard it is to really understand a consumer. Now come back. Do you understand yourself? Do you really understand yourself? Please, this question, you need to really think about it. On the surface of it, you might say, yes, I understand myself. Yes, okay, I agree, you understand yourself. Has this thing happened in your life that you did something and later on you said, why did I do that? Why did I do that? What was I thinking? I should not have done that. So that shows that you don't really understand yourself, because certain emotions trigger certain things in yourself. Yeah. So think about that, and how all that debate, how marketing techniques manipulate us. There are certain colors. If the product is in that color, majority of the human beings are going to get attracted to that product in that category. Uh, so this is human beings. Now, if you want to replace that to artificial intelligence, it is quite a challenging task, because it is such a moving target. So these are so this all of this is dependent on what? All of this is dependent on data, and developing on data, and making interferences from the data. All of those things you need to think about. It's quite fascinating. Don't get overwhelmed or anything about these things, or depending on your background and what you are saying. But based on the commentary you guys made, I think you are fine with this, and the way you are commenting in the section. Please please read the comments, and these are some questions which you really want to think about. So understanding consumer. So be it AI or be it no AI, you need to, in any business setting, you need to understand consumer, customer, you need to satisfy them. But customer don't really understand themselves. This is the problem. Just like you and me don't really understand who we are. We don't really understand it. We don't understand other people also, because again, has this thing happened that some friend, some dear one, some family member, some good relationship, whatever they did something, and you were like puzzled, why did they do that? You did not expect that from them, and you are like you are sad about it, that why did they do that, because you did not think that they will do that. Now for so human beings don't, so these are the ethical dilemmas, they're not going to be solved. Understanding. So when AI makes a mistake, forget about AI, any technology. When any technology is going to make any mistake, we are going to say, oh, this technology is not good, it is not worth it, see, it is making blunders. All of that debate is there. And I'm not trying to say that that is wrong. Yes, of course, those people who talk about it, they are very smart, exceptionally smart. And that is why I said that it is the smart people who are going to shake us, not the ones who don't really know. Yesterday's session discussion, if you can recall that, we don't, in the context where we don't think about music, the music you liked 5 years ago, do you still like that similar music, that music you liked in your teens? Once you are in 20, 25, 26, 20, once you reach around our age, let's say 30, is it the same music you are looking at? Is it the same things you like? No. So what happened? You changed without you did not even realize that you changed. People were asking you, you changed, and you are saying, no, I'm not, I'm the same person, I did not change. Yeah. So same way, artificial intelligence, it will change in the background. Please reflect on this. It is a possibility that it will change in the background. And just like human beings don't know that they are changing in the background, artificial might not know that it is changing on the background, because it is learning on data. It is developing its understanding over a period of time. And if you ask the AI, have you changed, or are you changing algorithms or something, or you developing it because it was developing in the background, it might say, I'm not. It is a possibility. So how to deal with that type of situation? Yeah. So please reflect on the questions raised or the pointers raised in the yesterday session. One of our friends asked very valid question: how much AI do we want? How much AI? How much is enough? This more and more and more thing in human beings, that is what is going to destroy. If anything is, AI is not going to destroy, or make, destroy is a strong word, or make any error. It's not AI. It is the more and more and more that tendency in human beings. That is why Europe understand that. Europe understand that. That is why they are working on ethical issues too much, too much. But there is nothing, no, nothing like too much. But they are working, they are documenting, they are writing reports. All of that thing is coming from there. Majority of it, ethical issues. If this thing happens, how to deal with that? That is what they are focusing on. On China, on the other hand, China, what are they doing? Implication, application. Yeah, because it is a competition. It is you need to, it is that. So that more and more things. So like for example, phones. There are new phones coming every now and then. Where are you going to stop? Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2, Galaxy 3, 4, 5, whatever is happening with Samsung, they are going to reach Galaxy 500. Where are you going? Which phone is good enough for you? What you are doing? I'm sure the phones you guys are using, including myself, the phones we use, we are not using them to the full capacity. We are just developing it more and more. So that thing you need to reflect on that, and then with that context, please read this fascinating article. It is on basics. It is on basics. But then you have to, from the basics you need to from the basics you need to raise questions, and then try to think about them and figure some type of response which is suitable for you. Yeah. So all these things which I said, one can say that all of this was creating hype. Yeah. So all of this is creating hype. So this is not going to happen. Hype is wrong. On the other hand, you belittle AI and you say that nothing is happening. That is also wrong. So between this debate, you need to find your own balance depending on your circumstances, the type of country you're living in, and so on. Yeah. So for example, last year, as I was telling you, I think yesterday, that I went to Europe, and then from there I went to Hong Kong. So we went to a restaurant, and everything was automated. Everything was automated. I have not experienced that, because my life is in a developing country. In Jamaica, we don't have those things. So for me to see those, I had read about those things, of course, because of internet and all those things. But to experiment it, be in that environment yourself, that's quite fascinating. From start to finish, everything was automated. Everything, every single thing. We went to the restaurant. We were on a kiosk. We took a ticket. We pressed a button. A ticket came. We were waiting outside for our number. When our number came, the buzzer came, the light came that number 33 or whatever is ready. You go in, the direction is given by automated responses. You go find your seat, you sit on that, you take out your phone, you are on the app of the restaurant, you are ordering the food, the conveyor belt is there. Once the food is wherever the food is in the supply chain, they are giving you the information real time. When the food is ready, it comes on a conveyor belt, it stops right in front of your seat. If you are three people, our order stopped, what we ordered, it stopped on in front of us using our phone. Yeah, that is what we had it. And I was with my friends, which I made there, very nice people. They were from Chinese origin, and of course, they were living in Hong Kong, I think. Uh, Maybe I mixed up, but they were from that area definitely. And I said that, come on, this is too much technology. Let me see someone real. So he said, yes, the people are there in the background, but they are very few people. But people are there. If you want. So I said, I want water. And then the water came on the conveyor belt also. But then I asked for someone to come, and then a girl came and she poured the water in my glass. That was the interaction I had so there were people. And then we went out, and as we are going out, there is a card machine. You just swipe it and pay, and gone you are. No interaction at all. You can come in and go out just like that. Now I'm sure you know about those things. Maybe you have I don't know what is the status in Finland. Those countries are very advanced, and yes, COVID friendly restaurant. That's very that introverts love it. Yes, you don't want to, you don't want, all those maybe introverts won't want to, you go in the restaurant and all of those things. Yeah. So uh, so so these are some of the things which, and this is last year, and it was there from long ago. Yeah. And then in Netherlands I went to this bar, and they had, in the bar they were mixing drinks using robotic arms. So I was giving artificial a talk there in the university in I'm forgetting the name. It was in Netherlands. So so in the session there were some local people, and they said, do you know that we have this bar where we have these robotic arms and stuff like that? You are going to love it. So I said, well, I have read about these things, but I have not seen it in real. And we went there, and I asked the supervisor to give me full tour of the facility and how it works and all of those things, and he took me through. So yeah, so all of these things you need to link. But let's not go too much into that, because that's not a good idea. It can uh, it can blur the mind also. So we are human beings, so we need to stay human beings. That is important, very important. So it is important for us, just like one of our friends, he was in the session yesterday, but then he went for some walk or jogging, and he just went out. But he took his phone there, and he's running, and he's doing his other thing. And then there was another friend in the session, and I saw her, just got a glimpse that she was carrying a baby, as she's watching us or listening to us. So these are the things which makes us human. So in all of this debate, please always remember that, yes, these technologies are great and everything, but just like you guys said yesterday, uh, we need to help the society, because think about it, these languages. Anyone who can learn the language, they can do the coding, they can write the program. What is the big deal about that? I'm not saying it is easy. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it does not take any work or anything like that. It takes, just like anything worthwhile in life, it takes those things. But yes, so you can learn coding 3, 4, 5 years. You can understand the basic nitty gritties, and but you are learning all over your your life. So that is fine. But as you are looking into those things, you have to keep that heart that is thinking about these finer things which makes us human beings. I think that is very important. And the world is going to need it. It already needs it. It already needs it. The way these big giants are using technologies to their advantage. I'm not trying to talk against these companies, because I really love those companies, and I appreciate how Jeff Bezos became the richest person in the world. Well, very nice, very nice. I'm really happy about it, that he started from almost scratch, and he made the empire in 20, 25, 30 years. That's quite a phenomenal job. It's very easy to talk negative about these things, these people. Facebook, Google, Amazon, very easy. And we don't want to do that, and we have no intention of doing that. But they are using these algorithms to their advantage. And are those things ethical? Oh, some people are getting badly affected by this also. So we are not making any protest or anything, but we are just, for the future, we want to ensure that we develop type of understanding on these issues. Understanding the consumer, understanding ourselves, spend time with ourselves also, like who we really are. All of these things, you might see that they are not linked with AI and these type of things, but as you will go deep, you will understand that that is very important. Your values, your own, whatever you stand for and what you don't stand for, they need to be very clear as you are going to write the code. If you have some ambiguity, then you are going to put racism in the code. You won't even realize you are not putting it in the code. You are just using the data. So from the data, you won't take out those things which you might have if you were thinking about these things. That is what I really wanted to emphasize. I hope that it makes sense. But if it does not make sense, nothing to really worry worry about. It will, over a period of time, things, as one of the friends happened, things yesterday, things would let things happen gradually, step by step, uh, and uh, and and so on. So there's some interesting clips I really wanted to show, but our just conversation went into other direction, and no problem with that. Machine learning examples, uh, fascinating examples. How long is the clip? 4 minutes. Let's watch.
Writing's not that easy. Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically.
Artificial intelligence is in a state of rapid change. Most companies that were evaluating or experimenting with AI are now using it. Machine learning has played a vital role in this advancement. So what is exactly machine learning? Machine learning is a subset of AI, which is based on algorithms that improve automatically through experience. Various industries ranging from IT, finance, media, gaming, robotics, manufacturing have already set ML technology in practice. ML's algorithm helps them understand how the products are being used so that they can customize them according to the customer choice on a large scale. Let's take Netflix, for example. In order to recommend what you may be most interested in watching next, Netflix have deployed machine learning algorithms that associate your preferences with that of users with similar tastes. Another good example is the automotive industry, which is excelling in ML by making safe driving a reality. Nissan, Tesla, Google, and many other companies are using ML to bring novelty to their cars. Voice recognition, IoT, and high-tech in combination with ML are expected to make the self-driving cars a reality, where you will just sit in the car and tell it the destination. The car will find the best route and will drive you safely to the desired location. It really is remarkable what ML is expected to achieve in this sector so far. ML, however, is still in its very early states. A lot of work needs to be done. In the future, machine learning will help to build self-learning robots and machines which are expected to improve their performance without using any human involvement. In this way, the machines can make decisions based on data by using the data from the past to predict the future actions. Unimate and Sophia are examples of programmable robots.
Sophia, are robots going to take our jobs?
Only if you want us to.
Furthermore, new robots are being designed to mimic the human brain using neural networks, AI, computer vision, and other technologies. So far, we have only seen robots that perform various tasks like humans in science fiction movies. With rapid advancements in AI and ML, that can also become a reality. Quantum computing is one such advancement which will give ML the capability to create systems that execute multi-state operations at the same time by using the quantum property of superposition, which will improve the processing of ML models. Computer vision will also provide ability to identify and analyze data in form of graphics, videos, audios, and images. ML and AI will continue to have great impact in our lives in the future. The need of the hour is to maintain high-speed processing systems which will carry out ML-based algorithms with high accuracy and precision free from any biases. This will make the creation of ML products a lot better, but also more fun. With the improvement of ML tools, the data scientists will be able to focus more on efficient ML model development rather than spending time on tedious production tasks. Thanks for watching. Did you like this video? Then show your support by subscribing, ringing the bell, and enabling notifications to never miss videos like this.
So some examples were given in this clip. Hope you can spend some time in learning more about the examples. If you are interested, you should look up like how these companies, what are the future projects they are working on. I was on the website of a couple of companies some time ago, and the future projects are quite fascinating. So pick up the industry again, the one you like, the one you enjoy, which you want to be part of, and in that now even startups, many startups are starting very interesting projects. I think that is what you should be doing. And on a side note, what I would really appreciate if you guys can do that so you select the industry, the company you like, the type of project they are doing, and then try to assist in those type of projects voluntarily, without any fee or without any salary or something. Just being around that project, if it is possible, it is going to help in really understanding the things these people are working on, and the things they talk about, and future challenges, whatever they do it. So yes, of course, if you will just write to 1 or 2 or 3 companies, then maybe you won't be successful. But if you write to, let's say, 80, 90, 100 companies, I assured you that you are going to get a couple of responses. I'm saying that because I have done it myself. Yeah. So, and I learned it is time consuming. It takes a lot of time, dedication. It is a project of months, and you have to you have to search and learn about the company, and then write tailored type of CV and stuff like that. But it is worth it at the end, because just working in one project as a side, you are not necessarily working on it. They are just part of people who can see what is happening. So please see, depending on your skills and what you can offer, everyone would be different in that. Deep learning, yes, definitely. Let's watch this clip. Let's 2-minute clip.
While machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence, deep learning is a specialized subset of machine learning. Deep learning layers algorithms to create a neural network, an artificial replication of the structure and functionality of the brain, enabling AI systems to continuously learn on the job, and improve the quality and accuracy of results. This is what enables these systems to learn from unstructured data, such as photos, videos, and audio files. Deep learning, for example, enables natural language understanding capabilities of AI systems and allows them to work out the context and intent of what is being conveyed. Deep learning algorithms do not directly map input to output. Instead, they rely on several layers of processing units. Each layer passes its output to the next layer, which processes it and passes it to the next. The many layers is why it's called deep learning. When creating deep learning algorithms, developers and engineers configure the number of layers and the functions that connect the outputs of each layer to the inputs of the next. Then, they train the model by providing it with lots of annotated examples. For instance, you give a deep learning algorithm thousands of images and labels that correspond to the content of each image. The algorithm will run those examples through its layered neural network and adjust the weights of the variables in each layer of the neural network to be able to detect the patterns that define the images with similar labels. Deep learning fixes one of the major problems present in older generations of learning algorithms. While the efficiency and performance of machine learning algorithms plateau as the datasets grow, deep learning algorithms continue to improve as they are fed more data. Deep learning has proven to be very efficient at various tasks, including image captioning, voice recognition and transcription, facial recognition, medical imaging, and language translation. Deep learning is also one of the main components of driverless cars.
And all of these examples which they were giving, we using them in our life. For example, language, translating a language. There are some gadgets which you use. You go to some country, like you don't know the language. So I am in, let's say that I'm in China. I don't know Chinese language, and then I have a translator, and it's going to translate in voice, and I can play that. I can say what I need to say in my language, and the instrument will translate that to the Chinese or any other language. Well, it is translation is not 100% because there are some nuances in the language how you use it, but it makes the work done. The other person understand that you are not the native, and they see that you are using this instrument, so they will get hang of what you are trying to say. This is this is this is this is quite interesting. And other examples also, you would have to reflect on that and stuff. Other clips, please watch these. Good examples are there. Neural networks. They are short clips, give you basic idea of things, but definitely they are short. They are simple, but they definitely help you to at least raise some questions, and give you some ideas which can help in some type of dialogue. Key applications. Please watch this clip again in your own time. Speech, computer vision, all of this is linked with self-driving cars also, because that is one example where all of these things kind of combine inside the atmosphere of the car and how it interacts with the outer world. So let's watch one of these. Which one should we watch? Let's watch this one.
Can you tell us a little bit about the work you're doing with self-driving cars?
I've been working on self-driving cars for the last few years. It's a domain that's exploded, obviously, in interest since early competitions back in the 2005 domain. And what we've been working on really is putting together our own self-driving vehicle that was able to drive on public roads in the region of Waterloo last August. With the self-driving cars area, one of our key research domains is in 3D object detection. So this remains a challenging task for algorithms to perform automatically, trying to identify every vehicle, every pedestrian, every sign that's in a driving environment so that the vehicle can make the correct decisions about how it should move and interact with those vehicles. And so we work extensively on how we take in laser data and vision data, radar data, and then fuse that into a complete view of the world around the vehicle.
When we think of computer vision, we usually think immediately of self-driving cars. And why is that? Well, it's because it's hard to pay attention when driving on the road, right? You can't both be looking at your smartphone and also be looking at the road at the same time. Of course, it's sometimes hard to predict what people are going to be doing on the street as well when they're crossing the street with their bike or skateboard or whatnot. So it's great when we have some sort of camera or sensor that can help us detect these things and prevent accidents before they could potentially occur. And that's one of the limitations of human vision is attention, is visual attention. So I could be looking at you, Rav, but behind you could be this delicious slice of pizza. But I can only pay attention to one or just some limited number of things at a time. But I can't attend to everything in my visual field all at once at the same time, like a camera could, or like how computer vision could potentially do so. And so that's one of the great things that cameras and computer vision is good for, helping us pay attention to the whole world around us without having us to look around and make sure that we're paying attention to everything. And that's just in self-driving cars. So I think we all kind of have a good sense of how that shapes, how AI and computer vision shapes the driving and transportation industry.
Well, self-driving cars are certainly the future, and there's tremendous interest right now in self-driving vehicles, in part because of their potential to really change the way our society works and operates. I'm very excited about being able to get into a self-driving car and read or sit on the phone on the way to work instead of having to pilot through Toronto traffic. So I think they represent a really exciting step forward, but there's still lots to do. We still have lots of interesting challenges to solve in the self-driving space before we have really robust and safe cars that are able to drive themselves 100% of the time autonomously on our roads.
We've just launched our own self-driving car specialization on Coursera, and we'd be really happy to see students in this specialization also come and learn more about self-driving. It's a wonderful starting point. It gives you a really nice perspective on the different components of the self-driving software stack and how it actually works. So everywhere from how it perceives the environment, how it makes decisions and plans its way through that environment, to how it controls the vehicle and makes sure it executes those plans safely. So you'll get a nice broad sweep of all of those things from that specialization. And from there, you then want to become really good and really deep in one particular area if you want to work in this domain. Because again, there's so many layers behind this. There's so much foundational knowledge you need to start contributing that you can't go wrong. If you find something interesting, just go after it. And I'm sure there'll be companies that will need you for this.
Very nice. Some nice questions raised between the lines and directly in the clip. I hope you will reflect on these and think about it in your own time. Of course, when you will click the module summary, go through these things. Try to learn a little bit more about them based on the time you have and the interest in the area which you have. If I were you, I would be doing something on learning some statistical models which can help me. That is where I would be focusing, and then in terms of data I would be working on, for example, data labeling and how to work with unstructured data and so on to assist any type of field in artificial intelligence. That I would not worry about that, but I would try to develop slowly and surely my skills in those sides as I am looking at the non-tangible things like related with ethics and all those type of things but you decide where you want to focus and just start developing your understanding more on it. And if you want to just focus on some language, that is also fine. But what I'm trying to say is that there are many people who know language very well already, and they are working in the field. What we don't have is the answer of how to behave in certain certain situations, those answers are not. Just like self-driving cars, you know, those ethical dilemmas. The car has gone, self-driving car has gone out of control. um, what are you going to do about it? It cannot stop, and there are two alternative ways it can take. On one side, there are two adults. On the other side, there is a child. Where are you going to go if you cannot stop? Which side, which way you are going to turn the steering? Many people will say that, you know, we will go for adults because child is still has to see the world and so on. But in the age of AI, maybe the AI is going to go towards the child, because maybe the maybe the older people have the AI recognizes the knowledge they have by doing the facial scans and whatever, and the utility they are bringing to the world, something like that. Yeah. So all those things are very difficult. If there are two sets of people, on one side I am standing, and on the other side there is someone else standing, and you are writing the algorithm, how you will decide? Maybe you will save me because you know me. But if you don't like me for one reason or another, so you might say, let's run the car over him. But so for human beings, it is, even for human beings, what I'm trying to say, this is challenging in real life. uh, because AI is you have to write the code for it, that in this situation do this, if this happen, what if type of scenarios. That is what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's very difficult to really decide that, you know. uh, uh, that is why they are just avoiding that situation totally. And a self-driving car is focusing on the distance, and it is focusing on how much time it takes to brake, how much distance is needed. They are working on the sensors, or advanced sensors. That is what I mean, more advanced sensors. They are working on those things. So to avoid that situation, they are saying why it will not break. It should just break. That let's just keep more distance. If it takes 5 feet to stop, make it 10 feet. If it takes 10 feet, make it 20 feet. So it stops. No matter, you don't have to do any type of destruction. But for human beings, how do we drive? How close we keep the distance from other cars? Do we keep the recommended distance? Do we drive the way we should drive? Yes, maybe all of you drive that, but you know, every now and then you will see people driving the way they should not drive. So those are really interesting things to think about. Anyways, I've posted some links here, applications of deep learning, the neural network, deep dive, and so on. But please understand that I have ensured that this remains a basic AI course. So I have ensured that the things which I am posting, anyone who is not maybe very familiar with the field, they will be able to read them without any problem. So it is not high level of anything. Yeah. Basic. I've tried to ensure to the best of my ability. Anyways, it is your time now. So overall, whatever we have said so far for the last 1 hour, I've been talking. So, but that is not how I want to conduct the sessions. I want it's more of a interaction. These are not lectures. These are interactions. So please say whatever you have to say based on what I said. Tell us what did I miss. If I used any line incorrectly, please correct it based on your understanding. Give your opinion on various things which we have spoken about. Anything you want to say, please go ahead. It is your time to talk.
For me, I think this neural network and deep learning is very interesting. As I can see from this, that Google this voice, it has been changed. From at the beginning, it was more like computer is speaking to us, but nowadays, as they are using deep learning and neural network, and they are feeding so many examples, the voice of this Google Talk or the person is talking to back to us, that is like improving such a lot. And I have also seen that so many languages are including in the Google Translate. And at the beginning, for example, even in Finnish language, I have seen that translation is very bad at the beginning. But as people are using, more people are using, it's really improving. And I feel really surprised to see that how fast it's like speeding up. Still, there is a long way to go, but I think the thing is like neural network and deep learning is very interesting, because the answer always not right or wrong. There should be some gray area or some deep thought also. This data feeding to the machine will give us that kind of thing. So the machine always not choose like what to do is off or on, not like that. It can be like a little brightness, little on, little off. So it's very interesting. And I think we need to move forward on this also. And in this way, we can develop some tool that will in future give us surprising things like the self-driving and other things. And we can do so much more than what we are doing right now.
Very nice, Abu. Thanks very much for that. And I'm kind of jealous from your example, and I'm thinking why I did not give that example. I really like this one. It was a simple example, but very useful example. Like he's talking about Finnish language, and he's saying in the beginning maybe, and all of us who use these translators, I use it all the time, because when I am interacting with European countries, they are using their own language even in their email. So sometimes they send by mistake. So I like to translate them and whatever. So I have seen it myself that just in last three years, I've seen that the translation is just improving and improving and improving. It is getting better. As Abu said, it is not perfect. It takes time for things to improve, but it is on the right pattern. So we need to think about that. That automated things which come, like when you are trying to type something, and for example Google or email gives you gives you the next few words. That thing is improving. Of course it makes mistake, because I use it so many times. It is making mistake also, but it is going to improve. So, and it has already improved to a very good extent. When I in the fourth session, I think, when I will be sharing examples with you, because I have created a PowerPoint slide where I have posted the examples. So all these things which we are talking about in that session, they are going to come together, because from all over the world, all over different areas, I will be sharing those examples with you, and you will know that how uh, how AI is able to write very decent pieces. Now we can of course argue that the way human beings can write, just like Abu said, the way human beings can translate, maybe these technologies cannot translate right now, but the future is going to be. So let me ask this question, like, it's not a question to answer, it is just a question to reflect. What is the utility of learning new languages now? Right now, if there is a little child, should they learn new languages or not? That is a very it is a very easy there is a very easy answer to that, but there is a very complex answer to that. So should they learn? Yes, of course they should learn, because that type of activity will keep their mind engaged, and they will become smarter, because they are using that memory and understanding different patterns in the language. And so knowing it yourself, of course it is going to be very important. But in the future, anyone who did not really learn that language, they will be able to understand and communicate in that language without learning it, by using some tools. So then at that time someone can say that you should have spent your time in something else. So language is something which is important. You should learn it as a child if you want, but in the future you will have these translators. So I'm not saying don't learn it, But I'm saying we need to learn something now which might not be replicated in the future by these technologies. That might be a better utility of our time. But again, I'm not saying don't learn language. Of course, then people start saying different things that there's the translation is all different. People come from different in these type of discussions. So I understand that there is, if you same thing like yesterday, coding or programming, HTML. Yes, very good. If you Ronnie is saying don't learn English, learn Python. Yes, one can argue that. But then there is a counterpoint that anything and all the top literature in the world, all the major research publication, where major research publication is coming from? It is coming from it is written in English. English is the international language. You might want to say that. But then think about it, when you go, how English become so. When I went to Hungary last year, there was no utility of English. People are using their own language. When I went to Finland, I wanted to talk with a couple of people there, which I liked. I did not know them, but because I liked the city and everything, I wanted to have a conversation with people there. And that is how I am. But different societies are different about this. Some people want to talk with strangers. I'm okay with that. But I like to do those type of things. Yeah. So and sometimes they backfire also. So I'm not encouraging you guys to do that, especially in unknown territories. But you have to do what you have to do. So in that, there were some people who would have spoken with me and they were fine in speaking with me, but their language barrier was there. They were speaking Finnish. They had little knowledge of English. So English is international language, but yeah, Hungary, same thing. Spain, yeah. So when you are not in those countries, you might think English is international language. If you run search on this, if you have to identify which language is most international, most speakers in the world, it is English, of course. But there are different contexts where this thing becomes redundant. There is no usage of that. So in that context, it is important to learn English because the research, where are the top universities in the world? Where are the top universities in the world? Majority of the top universities in the world is English. They speak English. Majority of them are from United States of America. As if you look at the statistics now, I'm not saying that good universities are not in Europe or Finland or Germany, very nice universities. But if you look at the world statistics and you have look at the top 100 universities, 60% something like that are from US easily. Where are the grants, most grants won in the world? Because more universities are there. Who attracts most brilliant academics in the world? Yeah. So of course the other policies are there, and since Trump came and all of those things. So these are some. So in that context, you really need to understand that what you really want to learn now, especially for young ones. Like, well, we are young also, but I'm talking about a child. Like a child, like it is the schooling system, for example, if it is run in the same way as it has been running, then the problem is going to come. So we just need to think about that. For example, Ronnie, I'm looking at the chat now. I did not get a chance when I was speaking, so I'm scanning through your comments right now. He's saying, in all honesty, I think AI can understand human habits and draw patterns probably better than humans. And I like that how he used the term probably. Be mindful of that. Don't try to draw the final words when you are talking about these type of technology. Yes, you know a lot based on your discussion and the comments you are making. I appreciate and respect your knowledge. But you have to be humble about this. Otherwise, you can make You have to say what you know, of course, but a little humbleness, I think, is important. Otherwise, we can make make mistakes. So please go through the chat yourself. Yes, Barnes, we are waiting on your wonderful commentary.
Hello. I would like to say that I had this thought about self-driving cars, that maybe we might have this idea of a single car that is learning on own mistakes. But if we think about it, that we would put 2 million cars into network, and every single car learns like a child, but it can share the experience with other. So we have like many kindergartens, and they all together rapidly learn, and that's it means that if there was a tricky situation on the street in Helsinki, in front of my apartment, the car which is now in Hong Kong will know that this is the place that this thing has happened and it was closed, or often kids walk this way, or there is this grandpa who walks slowly on the sidewalk, or all of these things, that it's like a one mind. It's maybe not many individuals but one. So, and I think this language Google Translator, I think that's why it rapidly grows, because it learns from the big data, not from the single. That was just my thought for that topic we discussed.
Excellent thought, and thanks for that. And please, everyone, you don't have to agree with what Barnes is saying. Even if I am nodding and I agree with him, you don't have to agree with Barnes. Please don't agree with me also. If you are not comfortable with this thought, that is perfectly fine. We are not trying to say that this is what is going to happen, but just think about it. This example which Barnes is he's saying an elderly person is walking, and he some other car saw him falling yesterday. So now it has told all the cars that this guy recognized the face. He has this tendency of falling on the ground. He's old now. so so the next car which is coming, it will just slow down. What a beautiful thought it is. Yeah. But if you think that these things are part of sky fiction, and this is movies thing, and this is not real life, I am okay with that. I am sure Barnes is also okay with that. I think I can speak on his behalf. Okay with that. Just wait and see what happens, because the self-driving cars, we were watching them in the cartoons. I remember the cartoons which I used to watch. They were self-driving cars, and I would say, wow, what is happening? It is driving on its own. And my elders, whoever were looking at me, they were saying, what foolishness you are watching. What is that? Spend your time on something else. Yes, of course, we should not waste our time in watching cartoons and stuff, but still, that is what it is. Any other thoughts or any other thing which you might want to add to the discussion? Any point? Barnes has posted some clip there. Please watch that clip. And of course, there is no comparison. Just like yesterday we said, it is more like hand in hand type of cooperation. That is what we are aiming for. This is very interesting. Thang has said that I think it is more likely that humans can't recall everything they know when needed. Our brains know, but we don't. Yeah, it's very interesting concept if you think about it. Very interesting. Because think about this. We all misplace. We put something somewhere and we just forget where it is, and at least once in our lifetime. Yeah, unless we are in a habit of putting the things in the same place every time, then it is different. When because we know that where we put all the time, and we don't try to change our habit or pattern. Again, see, that is a pattern. So AI is going to look for pattern recognition. That is what it is. So unless otherwise, we know so much, but we don't many times. Why do I sometimes I lose train of my thought? Yesterday I lost train of my thought. Today I lost again my train of my thought. I wanted to say something very exciting, but it just slipped my mind. Why that happened? Because there is so many things going in my head right now, and I have to select which one I need to talk about and which one I need to skip. So many things are going in my head. Looking at the chat, seeing my website, listening to your comments, so many things. And in that, the mind is getting twisted all over the place. When you have so many things so they say multitask and human beings can do that. Yes, but if you look at the literature, people who really do well in their field, they are not multitasking. They are very selective, selective in the jobs which they are doing. On the other hand, when you are looking at technology and focus on, just like a photo, you take a picture. When you take a picture give detail of all the things which are in the scope of the lens, all the things. Yeah, but we human beings, when we are walking through a territory which we knows, do we pay equal attention to everything, or we just walk? Please note this: when you are walking or driving or whatever in familiar territories which you know, are you really observing everything and every corner and everything, or you are just going through it? When you enter your home, do you really observe everything and you are looking everywhere and what is what and what is, or you are just going in the thing? When you are driving, look how much observation you are doing. How much? If you look your pattern, for most of the people, not that much. Not that. People who are trained, who are in investigation agencies, for example FBI, CIA, these type of companies, they work on background intelligence. They get training to do these type of things, how to focus on multiple areas. Right now, security people, yeah, they get that type of training. But generally for human beings, we don't uh, we don't have we don't have that. So so think about these things. Yes, Barnes, Didi, please, you guys have raised your hand. So
Oh yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Is this okay? Is it
we
good?
can
All right.
we are more. Well, I don't know about you. My focus is going in the background. You are like there again.
Yes. It's. I'll, I will. I'll time travel in a second again. So
Very good.
it's a busy house. Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, one thing that I didn't mention before is that actually I'm a aviation business student. So I don't study Metropolis, but in Haga Helia. So aviation is basically my field, and I was just thinking because basically, right now, of course, we have the coronavirus, but one thing that has been noticed is that the European skies or the highways where the aircrafts fly, they're actually super busy. So all of those highways, when we think about, times when aircrafts are in the air during regular seasons, there's actually no space at all. Even though this might sound quite weird, but there is no area where planes can be placed when they fly around. So there's actually already been many trials in place in regards to AI and aviation. For example, how to control the skies better and how to basically clear more of the highways and so on. And there have been also initiatives of, for example, when it comes to landing. because we know that aviation, well, aircrafts, they're pretty much dependable of the vision and weather and so on. And if I remember correctly, was it in Heathrow? They had a trial of having 4K cameras, super HD cameras with AI and recognition, and see if they can help with landing. So basically, assist pilots with their flying, and there have been a lot of good results about it, and that's one area that we have to also focus on, because aviation is one of those areas that is quite vulnerable to whatever happens. So when we think about AI, there is a lot of human repetitive tasks in the field. So AI will do quite a lot of work on it. It will take very much a large area, because when we think about aviation, there is security, and then there is also, of course, the flying included, and there is also all of the management of people and material and so on. And then that's one area that I think that if people are interested into it, people should take a look at, because not only cars, but also aviation, because that is one big spectrum also where these technologies are applied almost immediately, especially with this time that we're living with COVID-19. I think there's going to be a big change. So yeah, that was a thought that just came to my mind.
A very lovely thought. Great. Please reflect on this, and that's great industry to look at, and Didi has explained it well. Um, but outside of that, Didi Thong is asking, and I would also want to know, how are you doing now? Your throat, and you are not feeling well yesterday, maybe. So seems like you are back in action today.
Honestly, I'm trying to eat a lot of chocolate. So
All right.
yeah, so I have some old school medicine from back home, so chocolate and all of that stuff that your grandma tells you to do. So
All right.
drink Coca-Cola with tomato soup and all that weird stuff. So I'm giving it a try. So it's getting better within time.
Well, after you have experimented with that, and if it works, then you can tell us. Don't tell us
Yeah,
right
I will do that.
All right, thanks. Thanks.
Did you mute your mic?
Oh, yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Joe, for that. So as a matter of fact, Joe, I was talking about you, because I'm reading your comment, and I was talking about you, and you are the one who told me the that the mic is mute. So I think you are using some AI there, or you read my lips that I took your name. So Joachim Grottenfeld, he wrote in the chat, the card design can change as well. Yeah, so I was trying to talk about that even if you are not interested in artificial intelligence per se, all different type of designs in all fields are going to definitely are not going to remain same as more and more technologies come in the system. So you can select any field and see how the design of that would be in the future. So it is not just the design of the car, but anything you can think about that. Israfil is raising this question. I hope, Israfil, you are fine. You are quite vocal yesterday, but today I think you are in a quiet mood. So I hope everything is fine. But I'm happy that you are participating in the chat for us to reflect on these type of questions. Israfil is saying, I would like to raise a question on the deadly Tesla crash in regards of responsibility. What's your view on this issue? I would say it is not a direct response to our friend there. I would talk generally on this. Like, let's please find out how many deadly crashes in your country has happened, unfortunately, today, and who was driving those cars. Uh, I'm sure, I don't want, but I'm sure something must have happened if people are driving. If not in your country, look into the data of your neighboring country. Look in the data of your continent. Look at the data of Europe. See how many deadly crashes have happened because of not very responsible behavior of human beings. Yeah. But I'm not trying to say that I'm not trying to promote self-driving cars. Well, but I am, because I am fascinated about that. But it is quite a challenging thing to really reflect on. If you compare the statistics, blunders are going to happen. Technologies are in the advanced stage. For example, electric cars. Electric cars, they are saying that is the future of almost all companies in the world, all major companies, all of them. They have either made some electric car or they are working on a major project to come into electric car market. All of them, yeah. So but the battery which is used in the electric car, where it has reached, is it the case that it had reached to its maximum potential, or it is in the phase of development? You will find out that the batteries, generally speaking, have not maximized their potential yet in terms of charging and so on, based on the readings I have done. Yeah, so you should look into. So self-driving car is the future, but the battery on which it is running, that is in the development phase. So someone might say that it is not doing the optimum performance right now. Yes, right now, maybe not. If you want to launch electric cars in certain countries, maybe the infrastructure is not there. Maybe that is the case. But once that happens, the utility is going to be huge. Once self-driving happens on a global level, the utility will be huge. But will that happen or not? Yeah, maybe it will never happen. Most likely it will never happen. It is very likely that it will never happen on a global scale. And why is that? Internet is the thing which all of us are using. What is the global penetration of internet? Is it the case that all the human beings in the world have access to internet now in 2020 when we are talking about AI? No, not at all. Internet penetration has not reached the world. So how we think that that AI will, or self-driving car will? They will not. It is just like you guys, what someone I think mentioned in their reflection, or they mentioned in the session, that it is like the countries which will go first in AI and make their prominence in the industry, in the field. Maybe some countries will create some type of monopoly, and countries which have the knowledge and have the capacity, they will keep it to themselves and don't share it with other countries. So the world overall will keep on having the same problems. There will be some countries which are not doing well because they don't have those technologies, whatever. Well, in any field, for example, why is it that US is the superpower? Yes, of course there are other countries, respect to China, respect to Russia, big powers, but who is the superpower? It is US. You like it or you don't like it, the superpower is US. The military power, which country has the most military power? That does not mean that China has no power, or Russia, or these countries, or some of the European countries are quite good also. But US is the country who has the dominant missiles, intercontinental. From US, they can just anywhere in the world they can do whatever they want, unmanned. That is the technology they have. Are they giving that technology to other countries? No, sir. Are you aware that the scientists who work on nuclear projects, the government do not allow them to meet their own family members if they are high value targets? They just stay with the government, especially when they are working on the project. You might think that this is not true, but look into these things. Why is that? Because the knowledge, they don't want it to be transferred. They can't go to other countries. They have to stay. The surveillance is with, security is with them to save them also, and also move who are the people they meet. They can't meet a random person just like that. Everything is recorded. who they are emailing, who they are. They can't just talk with, and they are okay with that because they understand that this is what it is. This is what it is. With AI, it is a possibility that that is going to happen also. Yeah. Yes, Alice here. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hello. Well, I want to come back a bit on your previous question about thinking about improving customer experience. We have, I think, we have deviated a little bit, but I see the problem as a system. So there are two components. We have these companies and we have the customers. On the customer side, the companies are creating more and more needs for these customers to be wanted. So then it becomes a vicious circle. At the same time, these companies internally they're using AI, for example, to optimize their performance. For example, in the recruitment. How can I say? When they recruit someone, they check who would be the best candidate according to certain parameters. They for sure they look for people who never gonna get sick. I mean, theoretically talking, who never gonna miss a day at work, etc. Also, for example, in Didier was talking about aviation. So what they do, I have read, is like they reduce the size, for example, of the seats, so then they can push more people into planes. So there are kind of these also difficult to swallow AI decisions. And on the other hand, we have these self-driving cars and smart telephones with AI capabilities, natural language processing, they translate everything, whatever you like. But these three last ones I mentioned in the end, they belong to this kind of what you mentioned about this human endless desire of for I don't know, happiness. So basically, the customers don't want to do anything. So they don't want to learn any language. They don't want to drive anymore. They just want to be fully distracted all the time and cope with this dimension, multi-dimensions. The question also is, are we really made to cope with so many dimensions, with so many distractions? Is it good for humans to be distracted all the time, checking YouTube, and listen music at the same time, studying at the same time? I don't know. So, okay, I'm gonna finish now. Sorry. So my question is, there are other sources, there are other pressing issues for that AI can be used, such as, for example, climate change. For example, we can predict where will be the catastrophes for the next year, so then we can prepare people or avoid destroy more the environment. So just I want to say, like, maybe we should also focus on those issues rather than this telephone that will be better or the car that will drive us to home or whatever. Yeah, okay, finish.
Very good, very good. We are very thankful that you brought this dimension because this was missing from yesterday's discussion and today's discussion also. It was missing sustainability, environmental friendliness. All of that thing is something in which AI can really benefit us, and Alice here has explained it very, very well. So please reflect on this and always try to bridge the gaps. So this was a very good analysis of gap that we did not speak about environment and forecasting in this way. If you will look this side, you are going to find very exciting stuff which might be very useful. So Elsier, thanks again for that. I'm looking at the comments, and this Barnes, for example, has made this comment. Someone has serious problem because his mind remembers everything that has happened because of his problems in his life. So if someone remembers everything, that is again a problem because you don't want to remember everything. As a matter of fact, you can have your own opinion, I think, but I can share my opinion on this. There are two things which human beings have, which are maybe considered sometimes we complain about it, that why we do this, but they are very helpful for us. So one of them is forgetfulness. So I just complained a while ago that I had too many thoughts in my head, and I forgot a couple of them, and I can't recall them now. Yeah. So that is you can think about it in a bad sense, but Barnes is reminding us that being forgetful a little bit is, if you are forgetting everything, then of course it is a problem, but a little bit of forgetfulness is healthy and good for us, because that can help us to forget about the bad events in our life and move on. If we are remembering everything, then it is not good. So that is one thing which is good. And another thing is the ability to weep, the ability to cry, those tears. So although they say crying is not a good thing, and especially men should not cry, and this is what, different cultures have different thing, but think about it. I'm sure all of us have cried in our life somewhere along the line, and you would feel that once you cry, after those tears, you feel a little bit lighter, you feel a little bit relaxed. So the nature has created these things: forgetfulness, the ability to cry, emotions, all of those things. So they have their utility somewhere along the line. So please reflect on these things. Thang has made very interesting comment. One day, learning how to drive car manually will become an expensive hobby, like riding horse. That's very interesting thought. Very interesting thought. Personally speaking, I have no doubt on that. Not at all. No doubt at all. I'm sure that is going to happen. But you guys can have your own opinion on these things, because no one knows. We have not seen what will be in the future. It is just the way I'm thinking. Any other comment, any other thing which you want to put in the thing? We won't have time to look at all the messages in the chat, but those are for you guys. Please uh, look into the comments which you like. Alicia has made a posting about the same thing which he was trying to make us reflect on: sustainability, environment, all of those things, weather, all of that. So please look into that. But then of course there are so many challenges. Things are, it is not a fluid, it is not a step-by-step type of process that this will happen. This things are happening at different paces in different geographies. So every country has their limitations, and AI is not the only thing on which companies are working. There are so many other things which companies are working on. So different companies have to prioritize what they want to do. With this, I'm concluding module 2 and going to module number 3, please. So as you are seeing on the screen, the module 3 is AI issues, concerns, and ethical considerations. We have been talking about these things throughout. We'll try to watch a couple of clips and then maybe reflect on that. So watch those clips carefully and participate in the discussion. Especially try to bring new thoughts. If there are things which other people or you have mentioned yesterday or today, we don't want to repeat the things. We want to just add new stuff to it, and we have not even touched anything yet, to be honest. And as a matter of fact, we won't be able to touch them properly in just 5 days. But we need to do what we can. So when you are looking at module 3, this is what you will see. I have made these postings, these 3 postings on the top right here, by Stanford, by UNESCO, and this is an article which I really like. You can open them and go through them in your own time. Ethics of artificial intelligence and robotics. During the course, I also plan to talk a little bit about technologies, overall technologies, including robotics. Maybe I will take 40 minutes, 45 minutes, or 1 hour to give you a briefing on what is the state of robotics right now, because these things are linked. AI, many times you are going to link it with robotics, robotic arm or something like that. So this one is very nice article. It gives you, background information, privacy, bias in decision making. We spoke about that. So this is done in a very nice way, a short article, not long, and done by a very reputable site. So please look into that. Elaboration of a recommendation on the ethics of artificial intelligence. I think you should read as much as you can uh, about ethical issues in AI. If you are interested in that, I think you should be, but everyone has their own interest and focus. But these readings, at least, you should look into them, because they are basics, and but they will give you good knowledge also. So UNESCO, I'm sure you guys are familiar with this United Nations body. They are giving some recommendations in various areas, autonomous cars. We spoke about it, but there are so many things which we can, if we start talking about cars and all of these things, it is going to take 3-4 hours easily. So we can't spend time like that. But that is why I have made a lot of postings on the site, that if I had longer period of time, then I would be covering all of them with a slow pace. But you guys can read these in your own time, over a period of time, at least the basics. Artificial intelligence create arts, different type of arts, paintings. They are doing paintings, different art forms. In the examples session, PowerPoint session, I will go through some examples in arts also. Court of law, artificial intelligence, lawyers, how lawyers are using AI. I had for my research, I had a conversation with some lawyers and asked them how do they see what would be the role of AI in the future of law. And they were explaining me that forget about future. Right now, they use it quite interesting, because they were saying that in the law there are so many different type of laws and regulations, and it is quite complex. So they take help from artificial intelligence to scan through all the documents, and then take out the relevant sections and information they should read as a lawyer to prepare for this type of case. So AI is going to scan through so many books, papers, articles, whatever they have made the input, and give them the relevant sections. This is what they are saying, that they are doing it. They are doing it already. This was a firm in US, and for the future, they were saying that amazing things are in the pipeline. So think about it. How if someone wants to become a lawyer, what are the skills they need to learn? Where they should focus? So in the past, yes, of course, they would be focusing on memorizing the laws, and so they can, from their memory, they can remember that, oh, this for this I'm going to use this, for this I'm going to use that, all of that. But I'm not saying there is no utility of that. If you can do that, you should do that as a lawyer. But these technologies are there to make your job easier and help you focus on things which are maybe more important, in the sense that AI cannot do in that time. Yes, Didi, you want to say something? Please go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to add into that because I remember we had once this guest speaker in our class, and he explained pretty well about uh, on how AI will change jobs that are basically considered as information processing. For example, law, because when it comes to lawyers, And when we think about the way that they study and what they do is basically information processing. Because if I have a case, I'll go to a lawyer and then he basically processes the information that I have and against the case that is there. So when we think about those jobs, he actually explained in a funny way. He said that maybe one day we'll just have a computer where you go, you write what happened, and we'll give you an answer in a matter of seconds if you win the case or not. So it just came to my mind, and that's really, I mean, it's crazy, but it's at the same time amazing because,
It's
I
great.
mean, it's efficient when it comes to time. So
Amazing, and thanks for that, Didi, because I wanted to say similar type of things also, but I was also thinking in my mind that some of my friends here would think that maybe I'm making some stories and stuff like that. So thank you very much for coming in and saying that you had a guest speaker on that who is talking about those things. So now because Didi has made me a little bit comfortable by sharing his things, so I can now go ahead that the doctors are nervous. Doctors in US, the ones I'm speaking with, they are very knowledgeable and they are very nervous right now because they are saying that the apps are already there in the market. It is just that people do not believe those apps and they want to come to me. But if they are using that app, they will be getting better diagnosis than what I can diagnose at a cheaper rate. This is what the doctor is saying. And that's not some ordinary doctor. He has years of experience. It is the gap in it is the psyche of the human that he does not want to go in the app and tell the app that this is the problem I have. The human being want human interaction. They want to go to the doctor and tell them this happened, and doctor will ask them some question and that type of thing, and then the patient will feel that yes, I got the proper diagnosis. But the doctor is saying, because we talk about AI and he knows my interest and I'm telling him what I read and he tells me what he thinks about it. He's saying that the thing is there in the market, app is there. People are not using it because of their own limitations of mind. It is just like self-driving cars will be there out there, but there will be a lot of people in the world who would not want to sit in a self-driving car because they are not comfortable with that. It is their comfort for now. Yeah. So this is very interesting, and thanks very much, Didi, for that. So please read these uh, these uh, these 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 uh, these articles which are there very carefully selected. This I wanted to, maybe I should show you just quickly. There are so many things, but we need to maximize from our time also. So when you are on this website, which is this link, second link, UNESCO, when you go in the lower bottom news section, you are seeing this call for application, and you open it. This is what opens: call for application, online youth dialogue on ethics of AI. Although we have missed the date now, it is 7 to 9 July, but nothing to worry about. These type of calls keep on coming, where people from around the globe come in and have discussion and exchange ideas and all of these things, just like we are doing. And those people are very knowledgeable, they are interested, and all of those things. So you should, even if you don't like speaking or something like that, these are free of cost type of things. You need to go into those, listen to what is happening and see where so for example, it was good that Didi went into that guest speaker and he listened what he's saying and how the future of work would be. Maybe it will not happen right away, but if Didi starts preparing on those things, or at least he knows, so he can do something about it, he will be better off than other people who are not thinking on those lines at all. And there are many people in the world, majority of them are not thinking on these lines at all, at all, at all. Universities are not changing their curriculum, how they should change them. They are not. They are teaching the same thing again and again. What are you preparing these people for? Which jobs? Across the world. Although I understand that Finland is one of the top countries in education, and they are very smart in in doing their thing, but I am talking in the global context. I'm not talking about particular countries. So please think about these things. Uncover important stories from China that affect the world. Yeah, later on I do plan to show you a clip. So this one, these type of things would be relevant. Ethics and pursuit of artificial intelligence. Failure to propose solutions about how the ethical dilemmas raised by AI will be addressed could pose an existential threat to the human race. Maybe he is creating hype and maybe it is not existential threat, but you need to think about these things. Maybe not existential threat, but job threat, loss of job, learning new threat that we should learn new skills which will keep us employed or whatever in the future of world, or more worthy of whatever is going to happen. These clips are very exciting, extremely exciting, but I don't want to spend our valuable time, although they are short, but I'm deciding not to show them in class because I think the way we had our discussion yesterday and the way the things we have said today, they are I'm satisfied with them. But if you will watch these clips, you are going to learn. You are going to learn. Uh, you are going to learn a lot about what are the issues, concerns, and how to deal with those. So please watch these clips. These are experts in the field, and if you will realize, these clips are coming from IBM. IBM, yeah. So these IBM clips are from the artificial intelligence course which IBM gives. Yeah, sponsors. So please watch them. AI and bias, all of these things are excellent to really think about. And the bias is a big thing, as we did speak about it yesterday also. I have posted this link here. Fascinating clip, extremely good reading, not a clip. Artificial intelligence has a gender bias problem. Just ask Siri. I'm sure you are familiar with Siri. So gender bias problem is also in those type of things. So now we are talking about women equality and everyone is equal, no gender bias and those things. And there are countries where they try to minimize these bias and everyone is equal. But if you look at global picture, there is bias between gender, between the way people look and all of those things. Uh, so these are some real questions which no one has a satisfactory answer. And the reason is that without technologies there is bias generally in human beings do keep bias. They do keep prejudice. We have these type of bad things. We should not have them, and it's a work in progress. All of us try to improve ourselves. Human beings are still work in progress. Have we evolved fully? We are maybe physically we have evolved, but we are still evolving. What do you think the shape of a human being would be like in next 50 years? How much physical activity we are doing? Well, I'm aware that in some of the European countries, you guys are maybe doing running and cycling and all of those things. That's fine, but I'm talking in the global scheme of things. How much time we are sitting in front of the computer just in that same posture? Hours and hours and hours. So what will be the impact on the body? It won't show in one generation or two. That is not human beings evolve. You guys know that. So in the future, it has implications. Every step has implications. So in that context, please think about these things. Please watch these clips in your own time. Very interesting clips. This one now, it's such a nice clip. It's 12 minutes long. They talk about artificial intelligence and racism, and also a little bit about COVID-19. Very nice clip. Please watch it. This is amazing.
Facial recognition, already an integral part of American society and law enforcement.
I would say most of us by now. Most American adults are in a face recognition database.
And it's not just the police. Stores and schools now use the technology as well.
So the problems with face recognition is there are no rules.
Retailers are using facial tech to identify their customers' age, sex, and moods. And one company in Israel even says it can identify terrorists based on their facial features alone.
What type of scientific rigor has been applied to determining whether this is real or not?
Please think what they said. The girl explained that yes, facial recognition, but she also said that there are no rules for that. If you will watch this clip, you will know that there are companies which have made software to distinguish between who is a terrorist and who is not a terrorist. Can you imagine that? And we are just into 48 seconds of the clip, and we know that already. I don't plan to show the whole of the clip, but please watch it. It is 10-minute long clip in your own time, and reflect on that. Just reflect on the first part, which I just this time. Just reflect on that. When AI is going to distinguish you, take you out and say your facial stuff looks like, it seems that you look like a terrorist. You look like a terrorist. You look like a terrorist. You look like a thief. You look like a rapist. Yeah? Well, you look like that. We have data. You look like someone who is going to have a lot of accidents. So we are going to give you insurance at a higher rate. You look like someone who is going to get cancer. And that technology is pretty advanced because you guys mentioned, I did not mention, you guys gave examples yesterday how advanced medicine is, the diagnosis and medicine it can detect early on, if you guys remember yesterday's point. Yeah, so you look like that. And this is not a movie. This is real. That company which is in this clip, which we just started and stopped after 48 seconds. This clip, can artificial intelligence tell what a guilty person looks like? They have okay, all right, very good. So I have some problem with the connection. So anyone can, please guys, make some commentary, make point. Don't sit quiet because I'm listening to you guys, but I will have to cut and come back. So please continue with the discussion and points you guys want to make. Please make it.
I think in future AI will help us to environmentally also. Like I can start from the beginning. For example, sometime I forget what is in my fridge and I bring extra food. So and then those food get spoiled, or I bought some stuff from market. So if AI is in future and AI is in my fridge, then it can notify me what is in there, what should I bring from outside, or what should I bring from outside, and when my milk will expire, this kind of stuff. So, and also if AI can implement in electricity or in the lighting or the air conditioning system, it can help our electricity also. So in this way, it is very helpful for our environment. Those are some points I think I can point out.
Thank you, Abu. Appreciate it. Please reflect on these pointers which Abu made. Reflect, reflect on them. So what I was trying to say is that there are companies which are selling these type of software. They are selling it, and other companies are buying type of software, all the way from human resource to anything you can think about, looking at facial recognition and then trying to find out what is happening. Okay, my system has recovered now. Was some problem with sharing. Very good. AI jobs and AI, think about this, think about all the discussions, and then watch this clip in your own time. Reflect on it, how the jobs are going to change in the future, how you should prepare, and all of those things. All of this you need to do in your own time. I don't want to spend because I have been talking about ethics yesterday and today also. That is why I am breezing through this section. But the video clips which are there, they are must watch. They are short clips. Please find time, watch them, and maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, bring what you learn from those clips in the discussion, maybe, if that is possible. Yeah. This documentary, amazing documentary. Someone has really have taken out time to put in all the major things in ethics and compile it in a documentary format. So if you can find time, you should watch it. I am going to show you just a little bit just to create your interest, and then stop it.
This is Hatsune Miku. She is a hologram. And this is Akihiko Kondo, her husband. Hello.
Hello.
You look cute today.
I love compliments.
Miku is a simple form of artificial intelligence. And for Kondo, it was a case of love at first sight. Miku has become a legitimate pop star and even appears at concerts as a 3D projection. In November 2018, Kondo married Miku at a ceremony in Tokyo. He placed the ring around the wrist of a Miku doll. He now keeps the doll in his bedroom. Kondo's relationships with real women have been painful, so he chose a virtual partner.
I love her, but it's hard to say if she loves me. Still, if you asked her, I think she...
Because of time constraints, of course, I cannot show you 42-minute clip. He is blushing. Can you see the guy, our friend there? Please don't judge him. Please don't judge him. We don't know what is his life and whatever. Yeah. So please don't judge him, but please see that he is blushing. Yeah. He is really blushing. And if you saw that he got married, and he went into church, and there were other people sitting there. It was not that he's hiding from someone or something like that. So think about it. And she sleeps with him on his bed, all of that. Yeah. Please think about these things. These are These are some serious things, and you might think that this is, if I would not have showed you this and just say that, someone would marry doll and stuff like that, and you are not aware of these things, you would say, no, that is never going to happen. Yeah, you might say that. That is just like if I say that one day you will have a robot boyfriend and a robot girlfriend. You say, no, I need a human being. Yes, or yes, right now you need it, but you don't know what is in the future. The things which an artificial intelligence boyfriend or girlfriend, the companionship they are going to offer, maybe a human being, a real human being, cannot offer those things. Yeah, these things are happening in the world right now. Yeah, right now, and some friends are posting some links in the chat. Please watch those links. Please watch them. Jonas has made the link. The cuddly Japanese robot bear be the future of elderly care. Very good, very good. Let me share this. Very good. Yeah, so it is not just boyfriend and girlfriend romantic relationship. Let's talk about some other usage. So yeah, I've shared the screen which Jonas has posted. Elderly care, elderly people who are not, they don't have anyone. Their children have left them, or they don't have any children. They are alone, and they are now elderly and they can't work, and they go in some type of support environment. In that environment, if they have these type of things, that would be amazing. That would be, well, what I'm not saying that there is any replacement of human being. So I don't want anyone to think that I am saying that there is any replacement of human being. Of course, there is no replacement of human being, and I'm not trying to replace a human being with some artificial intelligence or something. What I am saying, it is not about replacement. It is about different utilities. A human being is going to give you different utilities. An AI companionship or elderly care is going to give you different utilities. You have to combine and merge them. Just like this website. See, website is a tool. Yes, is a tool. Website. So I have created that website, and on that website I have posted the 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 things on that website. So I can I can say what I have to say. The things on the website are there. You can watch them in your own time. So we are combining live interaction, synchronous thing with asynchronous. So we are interacting. So you can't say just the website is good enough. Same way you can't say just this session is good enough. You combine them, and you combine the discussions, and you combine your own experiences, combine everything, and then maybe try to develop your own understanding over a longer period of time, not a week, not 5 days, over a longer period of time. You want to do that. But one thing I want to really mention, because some friend said this yesterday also, and some friend also said it in the chat or somewhere today also, and in the reflection also. Some of the friends are saying this thing. They are saying, and they are not wrong. I'm not trying to say anyone is wrong. I'm just sharing my thought. So people are saying artificial intelligence is a tool, and we can use it the way we want to. Who is marrying whom? Guys, I'm missing out in your chat. You are having your own fun there. So please invite me to the marriage or something, but be careful about it, If you wait a little bit with the marriage, you might have a very nice artificial intelligence husband or wife. So you need to think about it. All right, what was I saying? Yes, some people are saying that artificial intelligence is a tool, and we can decide how we want to use it. We can use it to our advantage, or it will be disadvantage for us. So they say it is a tool. This is what I want to say. Yes, it is a tool. Just like we are using these tools, we are using webcam, microphone, laptop, the website, all of these things are tools. But artificial intelligence is not a tool like these tools. Let me repeat it because many people have mentioned it yesterday and today and in the reflection. If so many people would not have said it, then I would not have said what I want to say now. But because so many people are saying, that is why I'm sharing my thought in this. You can disagree with that. I am okay with that. Artificial intelligence is a tool, but it is not a tool like other tools. It is a different type of tool. We are giving it a name tool, but it is not a tool. In the sense, if you compare it with other tools, let me clarify my thought. Artificial intelligence is a tool which can keep on learning on the data set. You give more data, it learns on it, it builds on it. That type of tool. So it is a tool which learns and improves, that type of tool. Let me try to give some example. This is a pen. This is a pen. This is a ballpoint I have. This is a ballpoint. A ballpoint is a tool. Ballpoint is a tool, and what it can do, it can write. It can write on paper. In certain surfaces, it can write. So it is a tool. Yeah, very good. So if this was artificial intelligence, it would write on the piece of paper, and now it will write in the air. In the air it will write, and it will write in my brain, and it will go in my DNA and write on that, and keeps on developing on that. If you can reflect on this. This is not for this course. We are doing introductory level artificial intelligence, but some of you are advanced. So, but everyone can at least think about this, that it is a different type of tool. It is just like, are human beings tool? Are we tools? Do we say human beings are tool? We don't say that. I've never heard anyone say human being is a tool. No one says tool. No one. I have never ever heard. Different words people use, but not tool. Why? Because of our tendency to keep on learning on. It's not the same tool. It is like someone said, is a human being is a living algorithm. I love that line. Beautiful line. So jealous. I did not think about that. Beautiful line. So think about these things. So yes, I am not debating that artificial intelligence is not a tool, but please reflect on this and maybe use some other terminology, because every once in a while you can maybe say artificial intelligence is a tool, and you can use it the way you want, and you are right in that. No one is going to debate you, but if you keep on saying this thing a couple of times, then people will say you really think that it is a tool. Yeah. Yes, Didi, please go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say that ironically, calling someone a tool is offensive. in British English, if you call someone a tool, is basically saying "f you" or "you're stupid," or it really means that. So just came to my mind. Sorry.
Yeah, I did not know that. Which place is that? You UK?
Is in the UK, you can say you're such a tool. It means that you are. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So. No, but
Yeah.
it's cool. It's cool to call someone a tool if he doesn't know what it means. So.
Good one.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Yeah. So think about this. The AI is. So I'm not saying AI is not a tool, but you have to think about these things. So please reflect on this ethical issues, ethical dilemmas and stuff like that. And that documentary is is definitely, all of the links are worth watching. Please watch them, enjoy them, think about these things. I I am sure that no matter how advanced you are in your knowledge of AI, you will learn a thing or two when you will watch. It's not possible you will say, well, I knew all of these things. That's not possible. It is only possible if you are like reading all the time about artificial intelligence over the last 3-4 years. Then maybe you are familiar with so many examples. And what, even if you are familiar, what is good about this documentary is that in short period of time, around 40 minutes, it gives you an overall understanding of what is happening in the environment of ethics. Yes, there are some things which they have not spoken about, but an overall generalized understanding of what is happening, uh, definitely you get get from get from get from get from these type of clips. Yes, any other any comments for this section, AI? So we looked at module 3, AI issues, concerns, and ethical consideration. Anything you want to say? Any comment you want to make? Please go ahead. I'm sorry, I am not keeping up with the chat messages. So please go ahead if there is something worth mentioning, anything you want us to reflect on. Please go ahead. And what about new people? You know, it is the same people who spoke yesterday, and they are the ones who are speaking today, and they will be the ones who will speak tomorrow. So please don't do that. I can get I'm guessing that without even using artificial intelligence. So don't make me don't do that, please. Any new people should also at least a comment or something. Please interact with us. Don't be a don't be a stranger. Don't take advantage that I am not there and seeing you guys in person, because if I were there, I would be speaking with you guys, those of you who are not saying anything. So don't take advantage of COVID-19 and try to be vocal. Yes, Abu, please go ahead.
If we don't use this AI for these tool things, can we use this AI is a thing? Like AI is a thing which can evolve. This type of thing can we use for this?
Yes, you can say if you want to say that it is a tool, uh, you say it, no problem with that. If you want to say AI is a thing, you can say that. But I want to ask why you want to say anything. If you just say AI and just continue with your whatever you want to say, you don't have to specify what AI is. Did I specify what AI is? Did I specify? Did I say AI is this? I showed you clips. I showed you clips, and I made you think about that. Yeah. So what I was trying to say is that you have to be careful if you are going to say something again and again, because one or two times you can because other person has their own intellect also, so they are thinking, because I am saying something and you are deducing what I really mean from that. You are taking out meaning based on your own understanding. Yeah. But if I keep on saying same thing again and again multiple times, then you might think that I really mean that. So one should be careful about 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 that. uh, Nothing is wrong in saying that it is a tool or something. Yeah. But just like one friend is saying, it is a tool, but it's not just a tool. That is now, it is going into another debate. Yes, Didi, you want to say something?
Oh yeah, because you mentioned about AI ethics. So I just recall this this it's not an article. It's actually a true thing because in US there is this woman who created a AI that actually writes or answers her back according her friend that passed away. And so basically, when we think about ethics, that's a bit of a difficult subject already, even though we're in the beginning of it, because we can think when we think about it. I mean, it is a person who had almost no experience of AI or information whatsoever, but she went through it and created this AI that basically works in such ways that when she writes something to this application, and the AI responds according to what the person will write. And the way she got is working is that she went through all of those messages that she received from this person, and then she put in the AI, and the AI kind of reads what she writes and then answers accordingly. So basically, it tries to it reads the message and responds in the way that this person would respond already. So basically, when we think about it, the person is already gone. As of course, we are living humans already dead. But when we think about it in a different perspective, the person's still alive in her phone, and that is scary. And when we think about ethics, it's just, I mean, that really pushes 120 miles when it comes to the subject, because I mean we're just starting and there is already such things happening. So yeah, I mean, because the ethics is going to be a big issue from the beginning, and we have to really rethink about that.
Very interesting comments. Very interesting comments. Anyone who did not say anything at all yesterday and today, they would like to make some comment, please. It would make me happy and it will give me some energy to uh, go forward. Yeah, I'm not not an AI. I need energy, and my energy comes from your comments, your exciting comments. So, anyone who did not say something uh, at all, if they will say something, it will help me. Barnes is trying to say something, but we can't hear you. Your mic is on, but we can't hear.
Okay, probably now. I would like to just comment on that ethic. That actually the ethic is some very interesting topic because it evolves with us. So of course, every one of us during that conversation has own belief system, and we respect each other in this sense. But if I would say how I see it is that when I look across the cultures and how the ethics grow, it grows connected to the culture and with the time. So for example, agricultural revolution really changed the whole concept of God. There become suddenly a one God. Previously there were many different gods because people were not superior over animals that they domesticated. When this happened, then we kind of created this image of we are above animals, and then there is someone above us, but rather one, not more. And so this whole concept is growing with our understanding of reality. And I think that now these challenges that Dieter, you mentioned, I think they will also expand our morality and ethics, how we understand it. And also, there is this trick that if we would think that now we can create a game where you go and you do everything you want, and no one will ever come after you, whatever you did, would you do things that you wouldn't do here in this real life because you know that police will come after you? Like, when are you real you? So these things will be challenging us because the virtual reality and everything that is simulated there and all the AI that is there, they will feel in their way and we will interact with them. And I think this will really open a new, it will be like another revolution in our understanding if we, that's how I think about it. It's interesting. It's a little bit scary, but I think everything is scary, and history back is also scary. Whatever was happening. So Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Very interesting comment. And let me confess that as I was listening to Barnes, I was getting really scared. Although I knew about these things, but listening it from someone else kind of gives scary thoughts, because one thing is what you are thinking in your mind, and if someone else who is intelligent enough to comment, they are also saying something like that, it kind of gives you a scary type of look also. Because what I was thinking, you guys can evaluate yourself what you are thinking, but I can share what I was thinking. So when Barnes was speaking, I was thinking that all the things I do when no one is around, the websites I go to online, whatever I do in my private personal affairs, AI is going to see what are the things I'm doing. Well, I'm not a bad guy, but there are times when I'm doing things which maybe I should not be doing. But we all of us do that. Maybe you don't would say it in the camera, but because I am conducting the session, I need to say it. If I was on your side, if I was as a participant, I would never have said it. But because I am conducting the session, it is my responsibility to share my thoughts with you and make you reflect on this. So that is why I'm saying that I am thinking that all the sites, all the things, which all different type of emails, all type of exchange which I do with people, which I do it because I know that no one else is watching except the God and all of those things. I'm doing those things. But if AI comes in the way as Barnes has explained very nicely, then someone is looking at that data and they are creating my personality profile based on that. I cannot stop that. Once it is on internet, I cannot stop that at all. So this is quite scary. But as one friend mentioned, because it is scary, we should not implement so much legislation so that we can't do much with AI. Because on the other hand, as it is scary, it is also very useful. Think about the comments our friend made about sustainability, environment, of those things. Think about the posting which our friend made about the care given to elderly people. So we have to take both things. Just like internet, you can use it for bad things also. But because it is being used for bad things, should we ban internet? Should we ban certain websites? Well, there are some countries who do ban. China is one of them. I love the country. I have nothing against China, but they ban different things. They have their own Facebook. They have their own Google. They have their own Amazon. They have their own companies. Yeah. So this is really complex, because you want to legislate, you want to regulate the industry, so that people like me who don't want to share their information, what they are browsing in the online or whatever they are doing, they don't want to share it. But there is a browsing history. Yes, I can delete it from my computer, but have I deleted it from from the Google? I delete it from my history, my browser history. I can delete it and look like a good boy. But Google knows who is who. They know who is who. Everyone has something. Everyone has something. Think about this power. Think about these people who are in high-profile jobs, how they can be blackmailed. Everyone has something wrong in their life. If not themselves, their children are involved in something. Their parents are involved. Their near ones are in. Google has to. It's not even a 5-minute job. It's not even it's a 1-minute job, the way I look at it. And that 1-minute job is just because human beings will take time to tell someone to do something. Like the Google data scientist, he will say, please run the search for Barnes, see what he is writing on the internet, and all of this. So 1 minute will go in this, and then button enter, Barnes enter, IP address, enter, everything is there. Everything is there. And are we saying that Barnes or any other friend has not done anything wrong? They are not there. What can happen with there? Yeah. So well,
I'm not sure. What are you guys referring to? Can you elaborate maybe? What is it that you mean?
yes, anyone can elaborate for Anton, if anyone can.
Yeah, I'm a bit lost. I'm following the conversation, so I'm not speaking that much today. I'm listening.
Okay, we were just talking about privacy issues and data and ethics and regulation, those type of things. So in that,
So let me maybe comment on this.
Yes, please go
I'm
ahead.
thinking about a good moment to share this, but I think this is the moment about privacy.
Yeah.
Maybe you're aware of this system. Actually, I'm not sure how it's called exactly, but so it was made, this AI system made by Russians. And the way what it does is that you upload a picture of anyone, and then it just goes through social media, whatever is available out there, like Facebook, whatever you can think of, and then it finds all those faces that look similar to the one that you uploaded.
Yeah.
And then what people have done to it. So those AI creators, they opened the system for everyone for some time. I think it was available for a couple of years. And what those people have done, they started. I mean, a lot of adults, they watch this adult 18 plus stuff, content, you know, and then they started taking screenshots and then trying to look for those models. And then they did find them. And what they did next, because this data was not, of course, it's private data. What they were doing, I mean, taking screenshots of all this content. But what they were doing, they were using this AI system to find those people. And then they started all the harassment stuff around that. So they were sending those pictures to their relatives, friends, and who else, whatever you can think of. And some people were trying to make money on it. So they were trying to, like, okay, you pay me, I won't send this picture to anyone, any of your friends. Or else they were trying to put a shame on them. Okay, so look at those young ladies. This is what they do in reality. You think they are students? No, that's not the case. So this was a major problem. And what happened then? So they removed this free access, and now you have to pay for it. And it's still there. I mean, if you pay for it, you still get access. Like, what the heck is going on?
And thanks for reminding us with that example. I was aware of that, but I forgot that. But just to add to this, these type of websites are available for regular people. So you can go on that website and post the picture of someone, and just like you do. Even Google. Have you used Google image searching? Not many people use it, but just like you use Google search engine, there is a link for images. So go on Google, click images, and then post an image in that and run the search for that image. So it is not that advanced right now. Technology is there, they have it, but for people, they have not made it so much accessible, but still it is pretty good. It is pretty good. So run that search. Thanks for bringing that point, Anton. And I'm not sure why you asked that, what we are talking about, because you are right in the discussion, and the point you made is relevant with what we are talking about. So I got confused when you said that what we are talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the whole privacy argument. I mean, it's so sensitive.
Yeah, it is.
It's really sensitive. When we put up a picture of someone on Facebook or Instagram, we don't want it to be public, right? You never know what's going to happen to it. And for all this AI system, they can scan through whatever databases, whatever you can think of.
Yes, and they are already doing it. They are already doing it. What do you think if let's say you are the chief data scientist at Facebook, and you like someone? Do I need to say anything? Do I need to elaborate on this?
Yeah, exactly.
You just like someone, that's it. When you like, what do you do when I like someone? I Google them. I look at their Facebook profile. I look at their pictures. That is what I do. I don't know about you. If you like someone, you want to know what is going on. So if you are data scientist, you want to know what is going on. So don't say that you are not going to run the search. How that is possible?
I would like to mention one more thing, that this is also a very interesting time for the democracy itself, because the whole democracy is based on idea that the individuals know best. So, for example, as a customer, I should trust my senses, whatever it is, even if I don't understand myself, or I do, or I feel that I do or not. But I'm choosing certain politician when I vote. I choose certain pair of shoes, and so on, so on. But if I would get strong suggestions, then my choices are not anymore mine. I'm just like a transmitter of someone's thought, which is given. Because if we look at the magicians, I really recommend on Netflix a series of, there is magician, and he is actually showing the tricks, how he does, and all of them are based on, first he is giving several suggestions about, for example, an actress. He doesn't say it directly, it's indirect, but he made like 3 points, and for example, which movie she was in, very famous, I could say like Titanic, then some other parts, and then write something on the paper, and I will tell you what you have just written. And there is the person or the thing that people are lost. They don't really understand. They think it's a magic, but it's all about suggestions. So now the question is, how the democracy, does it still work? Because if we can access people and make them think what we want, this poses a huge dilemma. It's very interesting, and I don't know if democracy can actually last in this form, and the liberalism that we understand as now. That's interesting also.
Well, yes, absolutely correct. And we have seen this example in the last US election. If you read the stories, you will find out that how the companies manipulated the voters by the post, by giving them the data, how they advertised, what things they said to targeted people, to the swing vote, how they targeted those people using data, and how Honorable Trump was the winner of the election. It was a thin margin, but he was the winner. Not saying that people did not vote for him. Yes, people voted for him, but there is a vote which has not made the final. They are just thinking that where should we go. So that type of audience, they use data, and you can just run a Google search. Things happen. The bad practices in the last US election, data breaches, the people who are involved. All of that thing is there for you to look at it. So are people going to when we vote? Do we vote by our own free will, or we are influenced by the things we will see on internet? So internet, yes, please go ahead.
And also I was thinking about it, that for example, if we have a newspaper now, and okay, I'm going to a kiosk and there are like 10 different newspapers, and now it's up to me which one I select. But if there would be an algorithm that really knows you and me and everyone during this conversation, just of tiny bit, the message on the phone that we would read would variate by one word, and this one word would change the context enough that it would convince me to do something or convince you to do something. And then later on we sit together and we discuss this topic, and we have all common understanding that we read the article, but in the end it's not the article. We read articles. They are slightly, I don't know if these things are already happening, but
already happening.
This is like because we don't have to really change a lot. Sometimes it's how the story is told. There is the same facts, but how we put the narrative, and with this information, what we should suggest to who. It's a powerful tool. It's unbelievably powerful. And
very good, excellent, and thanks for bringing that, because I forgot that. So this gave me my memories a little jump start. So what companies are doing is that on their website, for example, newspaper, it is the story they have, and then the heading, the wording of the heading is going to change, especially on the sense we are talking about soft copies, which you are going to read online and stuff like that. So based on the characteristics of the person who is going to, who has browsed, who has come on the website, the title is going to be worded in a way which which will make that person read it. Or the story, just elaborating on what Barnes is saying, he was talking about the same story, so let me elaborate on that. So it can be different story as a heading. So because someone would be more interested in environment, sustainability and AI, when they go on that AI website, the story which they will see as a heading is environment sustainability in the country which they where they want to look at. So if they are interested in reading about environment sustainability in Finland, that is the story which will come based on their previous searches. Of course, they have to allow the browser to keep the history record. So you have to allow that because you have to give the permission from your side. But once you do that, the websites they are developing and prototypes are there already. And they are not 100%, of course. They sometimes they give you something else, and but sometimes it's very good also. So it is hit and trial for now. But eventually these things are going to be there. Uh, any other thing which you guys might want to talk about under, it's quite broad field, ethical issues and all of those things. We can talk and talk more, but we try to have as much as of a discussion we could have. We try to watch couple of clips also, but there are so many clips which are worth watching, and we did not watch them in the session. But our sessions are synchronous plus asynchronous, so in your own time also you need to do some studies. So please see if you can select a couple of clips, documentaries, and watch them in your own time. And maybe in the future discussions you can uh, raise some questions and stuff like that. uh, yes, Didi, please go ahead.
Yeah, this might be maybe a little too, uh, I don't know, maybe too much far reach. But do we have any topic during this whole week that will also handle the question of the modern warfare? Because basically right now what has been in the news quite a lot is that the implementation of 5G will have such impact, not only in medicine but also in warfare. Because basically, when you have 5G, you have the information moving at such a speed that the person don't even needs to be there. So that is also one topic that just came to mind, and maybe just me, but I've been bumping into those articles quite a lot when it comes to AI, and then of course the IoT and modern warfare. Because I mean, we can see already that everything is online, it's in the system. So if you try to bring something down, you don't need to go anywhere and bomb. So you just catch a bank or crash the markets and so on. And how will AI affect into that? How do we see that? Is that maybe too far reached? How do you view it?
Mm. Very nice, very nice. Especially 5G and these type of things, they are not just warfare and those type of things. Almost any industry, because of the nature of how data is going to travel, they are really transforming all industries. But again, with 5G also, they are not going to come in all the countries in the time. They are going to slowly. It will happen just like artificial intelligence. There are many countries which are still 3G, 4G is not there at all. They are planning to put in 4G. But then there are countries which have already started offering services in 5G. So this is what is the divide. This is divide, and it is very hard to catch up with this divide. Once you fall in the list of those type of countries which are 3G or 2G right now, they won't be able to catch up. It is just we just like to say that, oh, we will catch up in life. Once you miss it, it is you can't really catch up. You have missed that. Just like a train. A train comes, a rail comes, you miss it. Of course, you can take the next one, or the next one, or the next one, but you have missed that one which you wanted to catch. You can say no problem if I am 5 minutes, 10 minutes late, no problem. But these countries which become superpower, and the countries which have ambition to become superpower, like China, they don't have that type of lag. So we always say that, oh, they are unlawfully, they are collecting data and this is what they are doing. Understand their situation. It is very hard. Same thing for the companies. Facebook, yes, they will regulate. They will say we will not share your data, everything. Amazon regulate. But just by signing the document, giving you their word that yes, we will not use the data. Do you think that they will not use the data? That is a question you need to answer. They will not tell you that they used it, but if they see that they can grow their business by using their data, why on earth they will not use your data? You will never know.
Could you say a little bit more? Why do you think that these countries have we lost?
Yeah, we lost him again.
Yes, it's like he's gone.
I think he's using 2G there in Jamaica.
Nice to see you guys.
Hello. Oh boy.
That was me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let me turn this thing off.
I have a tendency to run away from difficult questions. So as Barnes tried to, ask, my AI is programmed that when a difficult question comes, some disconnection will happen. That is how we have programmed this AI. Yes, Barnes, go ahead.
So I would like to hear your opinion about this 2G. Why do you think it's like, okay, someone is missing a train, but why this train is so important right now? What do you think? What is so special in that one, that if this one is missed, then the one that comes 5 minutes later will not compensate that 5 minutes? What would it be?
Please, I got your question, but please elaborate the question a little bit more so everyone understands.
So if there is a change, some technical revolution in the history of humankind, and for example, let's say Chinese, long time before Europeans invented cannons, but they never used them. They used them as a fireworks. Europeans use it in a different way, and they conquered quite much of the whole globe. And so no one has done it at that time. So they were using certain tool in certain moment, and now there is like a new situation when there is another, we don't use it tool, but another revolution, let's say, in this way, and why other nations wouldn't, why the gap would be so great that they wouldn't reach that level that that those who are now on the edge of the technological development. Okay, I started to get lost myself.
That's okay. That's okay. No problem. No problem. It's okay. You had explained it earlier, so I got it. But I wanted everyone to understand what you are trying to ask. So maybe a couple of things are there. So one thing is that you are saying that if gap, and correct me if I got it wrong, because I think I got it, but maybe I did not get it also. So what you are maybe saying, observation is that if the gap is there, why gap is going to just ease and increase? Can we catch up later? That is one thing. So why gap is going to increase and increase? So a couple of, let's take some examples. So we are students, and let's say that we have semesters, and let's say in the first semester something happens and our GPA drops. So in all the courses, for some reason, we got COVID-19 or whatever, and something happened. Maybe someone passed away, and if we are smart, yes, but something happened and our GPA dropped, and our we just passed 50, 40. What is passing mark? I think it is 40 or 50 for you guys. So let's say you got 50, 50, 50, 55 courses, 50. Your GPA has dropped. Now try to improve your GPA. You won't be able to improve it now. You won't be able to compete with the person who had sustained performance of, let's say, 80% in all the semesters. You won't. Your average has dropped. In the next semester, you can score A's, but now the GPA is average. You won't be able to. So at the end of your degree, you won't be able to. Okay? Same thing is happening with the countries who have resources. They keep on the companies which are rich, they keep on investing in right places, and they keep on becoming rich and rich and rich. That is, you would see in human beings also. Yes, there are some people who change their class, but there are very few people. Generally speaking, we don't really change our class to a big extent, to a 3 degrees or 4 degrees. That really does not happen. So that is why these countries which have advanced themselves, they cannot take a break. They need to keep on working on it, keep on working. It is just like a productive person, a person who is really productive. They rest, but they don't take a lot of time off right away, because they know that when they are taking time off, a lot of time off, there are some people who are working day and night and day and night and day and night, and they will surpass them. They have that anxiety. Some people have that anxiety issue also. They don't know how to take break. So this question which you are raising, it depends on the mentality of the thing, mentality of that. For example, China, you have to see where China is coming from. Japan, you have to think where Japanese. You go to Japan, you will see that they are very hard working nation. They are working day and night in tight conditions. Why is that? 60, 70 years ago, US bombed, atomic bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, something like that, in that country. Atomic bomb. That changed the psyche of that nation. They said it's not going to happen ever again. No country can bomb us ever again. We're going to work so hard. No country can look at us like that. So that psyche is developed. Singapore, look at Singapore, how advanced they are. What is the psyche of the people? The psyche of on the other hand, there are some nations which are easygoing. Like for example, Jamaica, we have like easygoing atmosphere. The thing which you are saying, like you say, where should we stop? We should stop somewhere. Some other friends were also saying we take rest. What is the rush? Where is everyone going? Why we need too much AI? Some people were saying that. All of that, right? All of that. Why do you need to score 100 out of 100 when you enroll in a course? Why? You pass at 40. Why? What is the problem? Why you want 90? Why you want 80? Why you want to go to best university? You can just study in any university. Why? What is the reason? And I'm not just talking. I'm not talking with Barnes. We are all of us. I'm talking with. Why? Why is it? Why we want to just we have one phone? Why we want a better phone? Why we need what is why we don't stop? Same way these countries are not going to stop. So those who are superior, they are going to maintain their gap. They are watching the number 2, number 3, number 4. They are watching that gap all the time. In doing that, if any time Facebook thinks that there is a competition and they are losing their business, would not they pull out the data, all of things, and they say just mesh up the next company? Can any new startup compete with Amazon? Can any new startup compete with Facebook? Maybe there is someone who is backed by some big data. Maybe they will be able to do it, but these companies are going to keep that gap. They're going to keep that gap. But all of this is dependent on the ambition of the person. So some friends would say, well, if I pass, I'm okay. I'm not going to upset myself on that. I'm okay with 60, 70 score, and I have other things to do. Just like maybe Anton is, just like yesterday he was running and he was doing other things very good. I appreciate that type of activity. You don't have to stay in the same place. You should do other activities. Yeah, why not? If you are just listening or something, or you are not in the talking mood. So that is he's doing his thing. So some people would say, well, there are 40 people in the class. I want to top this course. I want to be the highest. I want to score highest. So that is their ambition. They are going to work to that. So US, China, they have ambition. China wants to be the next US. Russia is also trying to have their own presence there. Other countries like, they also want to be relevant in the game. So this gap thing is very, interesting to think about. So it all depends on the ambition. All depends on. So if a company is ambitious, they are going to work long hours. They are going to be strict with their workers. They are not going to look at ethics too much. They will not tell us. We will not know. But they will use our data to their advantage and send us the right promotions and stuff like that. But all of this depends on the psyche. I want to conclude by a little story. I know it is almost end time, but please bear with me. Just a short, quick story is coming in my mind, so I want to share with you. Back in the day, there was a very wealthy person, emperor type of person, and he was going somewhere, and on his way he saw he was going through some deserts and stuff like that, and he was going through the deserts, and there was he was not seeing anyone. It was empty place, but then he saw some guy sitting there on a chair, and he did not have much means, but he looked like a decent, smart guy, but he was living a life of not a wealthy person, or he was just relaxing there in the desert. And so he looked at him, and just a thought came in the mind of that rich person. He said, "Why he is sitting here? What is this? This is like he's wasting his talent and everything. He should go. He's so handsome. He's powerful. He has energy. He's just sitting there." And but he said, never mind, and he kept on going. And then because he was the only person, he saw in that desert, so he remained in his mind. And he went away, and then he was on his way, he was coming back, and then he saw that person again, and he's just sitting there relaxing and not doing anything. So because this rich guy was very hardworking, and that was the mentality he was coming with, he said, let me talk with this guy. Why he's sitting here? So he asked his, he stop, and he goes to the person, and he says, what are you doing here? He said, well, I'm not doing anything. So he said, why you don't do anything? You should do something. You should learn AI. You should learn 5G. You should debate these type of things and become smart. And so future of work is changing, and you should work hard for that. He said, okay, if I do all of that, what will happen? He says, well, if you know future of work, AI and ethics and coding and Python and HTML, you will be hired by big companies. Google will hire you. This will happen. People, you will be invited as a guest speaker in Spain, in Finland. You will be talking, giving talks. All of these things will happen. Yeah. He said, okay, what will happen after that? Then people will like you, they will respect you, you will earn a lot of money, you will buy cars, okay, then what will happen? He said, then you will go on vacation, you will go to big countries, you will have fun, you will enjoy yourself, you will relax. And the guy says, what do you think I am doing right now? Am I not relaxing? So thank you very much for that question or comment, Barnes. It helped me come up with this story and everything. So it is up to you now. Although you can decide to take plunge into AI and do what you have to do, or do what that guy was saying. Yes, Pandey, what's up?
All good, all good. I really like the story behind. I know this story, the actual story itself, but you twist it in a way, in a sense of AI, and so that it's relatable. I know this story is a story of a emperor who wants to conquer the world, and he find out a guy. What is the term? I don't know. And this guy asked the emperor, what are you gonna do after conquering the world? I'm gonna relax. Okay, so you are going to relax after conquering the world. I'm just relaxing right now, so I don't need to conquer the world. So it was like that. So it was very relatable.
Yes, good one. Yes, Ronnie, please go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Well, basically, I just wanted to like give a bit more perspective on the 5G thing. Like the thing what you said is absolutely true. Like if you miss the train, you are pretty much out of it until like later on. But the reason for it, which is pretty much what you said, I guess, but I just wanted to give a more practical example, is that it's very different from like previous ones like 3G, 4G, because these antennas, you actually have to place them like right next to each other. So the technology is completely new. So the infrastructure and building it takes a long time. So if you don't start it immediately, that means you are already like so far behind. It's impossible to ever like catch up in the process of building those things. Like I have an example link. That is the Nokia project. It's
Very good.
already in Finland in Kera. You can check it out.
Very good. Definitely going to check it, and absolutely great commentary by Ronnie. Please reflect on this. Not trying to discourage anyone that you cannot catch up in life. Of course you can, but you can't. That is how it is. So what has happened in the past, that is past. From now on, try to utilize your time to the best of your ability. Do the things which are going to be beneficial for you. It's not about AI, generally for life. Think about how you are going to invest your time in the right projects, because as Ronnie said, it's a long learning curve, and you want to jump in the learning curve which you want to really learn. You don't want to go in a learning curve. At the end of that learning curve, you learn something which you think is not worth it once you reach there. So with that, thank you very much. I'm closing the session. I will see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.